Yeah, who's clicking?
Is that me? That's probably me.
Although on the other end, Charles, I'm glad we can see your face now.
Yeah.
Did you say we're on, Chelsea?
Yep.
Okay. Hello, and welcome to tonight's episode of Tales of Athanasia, where a bunch of us are just making it. We're all tired and it's fine. We're all fine here. How are you? Where we last left off, our intrepid adventurers ended up on an island that was ravaged by storms. And you met the ghost of the pirate that you killed not so long ago, or that is to say that Rocky killed, by slamming him in the chest and one-shotting him, tossing him into the sea. And as it turns out, he wanted his revenge. So you have a partially buried and very frightened bunch of pirates who are all either in or around their encampment. The fire now well extinguished by the cold and the rain and the wind. The ghost of the pirate captain has been beheaded by Ronnie and evaporated, and the Weatherstone has fallen to the ground. I think it was picked up by Rocky.
I'm not sure we actually
didn't pick it up yet.
got that far in our narrative.
Soon after the storms ceased, however, a representative from the Warp Guild of Eusoria arrived and delivered the Lightstone, which was then promptly handed off to whoever could pay, therefore Ronnie. And upon opening it to investigate to make sure that it was there, Hero looked at it, was pierced through her soul, and was unattuned to the Darkstone, which she promptly scooped up in a handful of so much wet sand and threw into a small bag. So that's where we pick up. Storms are clearing. The pirates are afraid and buried. How would you like to proceed?
So we have, in the last day or 2 days maybe in game, we've gotten 4 stones.
We stopped doing side quests.
This is what happens when you don't do side quests.
The ghost of Erla's son just goes past. No more side quests.
We do have a problem though, like the army of darkness is headed straight for us.
There's that.
We'll just fight them. Fight them all. Alright, so what does that leave then? Still...
So we probably need to, now that we have a significant amount, and now that we have the divination stone, we probably need to kind of figure out our priorities. Who we want to go after, which one we want to go after next.
So I'll reach down and pick up the Weatherstone, apparently.
Okay. Seems like nobody else is too anxious to grab it, so yes, you bend down, pick it up.
And it was just us that got out of the ship. Did the crew of the... Can't remember the ship's name.
Oh, it's the crew of the Key now.
Did Prague, is he still on the ship or did he get off?
He's still on the ship.
Okay.
You guys realized that in order for we kind of skimmed over this. In order for him to get on the ship, he is a large-sized creature, so he can fit through a medium-sized hole, but it takes him a second. He has to squeeze through.
Man, Rocky and him need to not meet up in the hallway.
I mean, Rocky apparently is able to slide through just fine. It's almost like he and the Key are a symbiotic whole. But you're right. If you're just trying to pass each other, that would be problematic. So yes, Prague and Astra and Flisbit are all aboard, along with the other two who I can't remember their names off the top of my head because sleep deprived.
Are the rest of the little crew that we kind of pinned down on the beach, are they, like, because I know my darkness would have probably dispelled when I lost focus on the dark sphere.
No, because we established that was from your fiendish nature, not from the Darkstone. So your darkness is still there, technically.
Okay, well, do we need to deal with these guys?
They all seem to be watching you cautiously and continue to be afraid for you.
What does the party say?
Hello, is everybody okay down there?
I'm still up on the
They
ship.
They seem harmless. I'm gonna drop the
You
darkness.
guys still have no communication from inside to outside. So it's literally just Yara sticking her head out of the iris going, "Hello, what's going on down there?" Sorry, what were you saying, Chelsea?
I was just saying I'm gonna go, since they seem harmless, I'm gonna drop the darkness.
Okay, so the darkness disperses.
Whether Bran lets them out of the ground is another story.
Bran apparently is not forthcoming. So they remain motionless. They're all sort of like cautiously watching you, trying to figure out what you're going to do next.
Are we good?
Does any of them look like they are now the leader of the group, the de facto leader?
Jared says to fuck them. He doesn't want anything to do with them.
Do you want them in or out of the sand to do that?
Rocky, go ahead and make an insight
No
check. Let's see if
comment.
you can figure out their power structure at a glance.
Oh, I'm great at that.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
This is your specialty.
3. Insight,
Yeah.
total of 3.
That monk is the one in charge.
All right, I'll go up to the monk.
Cool. No,
Hey.
the monkey.
Oh, the monkey.
Yeah, that's what Rocky thinks. The
Okay.
animal. The animal was the one running the show.
Looks the smartest out of the group.
Yep. Clearly.
Hey, get out of here. Get. I would like to intimidate it to leave.
Intimidate the monkey. Roll for intimidation. Roll for animal cruelty.
It's only animal cruelty if we make him fight Flisbit.
15.
Okay. The monkey is intimidated. It hides behind the what's the word I used to describe him? Buccaneer. Yeah. Hides behind the buccaneer. Dude with the red bandana and the scraggly beard.
I showed him.
Yeah. The guy with the red bandana looks at you kind of angrily and he says, what do you be doing to me, monkey?
I told him to go away. I thought that was pretty clear. I'm standing right here next to you.
Now, he doesn't like it, and neither do I.
Oh, yeah? What are you going to do about it?
Well, I might not have to do anything about it at all, you see. The longer you stay here, the longer you're in. And he glances sideways dramatically. Her power, my.
Whose power?
She who owns the island, obviously. Don't you know the lore of Pirates Bay?
No, can you tell us?
No.
While all this is going on, who's got the highest passive perception?
I got a 21.
That's probably going to be it.
All right. Bran, while you're hearing this conversation go on between the Buccaneer and Rocky, you notice faintly off in the distance, as if sourceless, coming from no particular direction, you hear the singing of a young woman. It tugs at your soul.
Oh,
Make a charisma saving throw.
Oh
charisma.
Uh-huh.
Bye, Bran.
no. Yeah, that's the worst.
So wait, so she gets a bonus to hers. Is that how this works?
A bonus to what?
I have a -2 on my charisma. So
Oh, cool. Sounds great.
it's down to a 6.
That's a 6. All right. Who's got the next highest passive?
15.
I have a 16.
Ronnie, you're the first one to notice that Bran isn't around anymore.
Half of the sand would pop out. There we are. I was concentrating on the west half of the guys.
So yeah, so the sand around the pirates ceases to draw them downward, and they are simply stuck as opposed to being sucked under. And suddenly you look around, and you're like, "Where'd Bran go?"
Yeah.
Loud, Ronnie, go ahead and give me a charisma saving throw.
Oh, no.
Is Ronnie one of those rogues with good charisma? Because I feel like she's not.
No, she's not. How long have you known?
Sometimes she surprises me.
4.
4. Great. Who's got the next lowest passive perception? Would that be Hero?
It's not me. I have an 11.
Yeah, 15, I guess.
Okay. Hero, you watch as Ronnie starts wandering off as if looking for the source of something.
Ronnie? Hey, what's going on? Ronnie?
She seems to not hear you. She's walking inland.
And Jay thought we would finish us up tonight.
Not when we all end up going into the. We're probably all gonna roll 3s and 4s, and we're just gonna be trapped.
Catch everybody else's attention and gesture towards Ronnie. I'm not gonna stop her because I'm just watching, but get everybody else's attention and indicate where she's going.
Yeah, so you point in her direction and you realize that she's kind of got this look on her face like as if she's puzzled by something, like she can't quite figure it out.
Why am I following this?
Yeah, but she's sort of slowly, steadily walking inland. Go ahead and make a perception check because now you're looking deliberately for sort of where she's going and whatnot.
That was just a plop. 11.
Okay, great. Yeah, you can't find Bran either. As soon as she says, "Hey, where's Bran?" and then she starts wandering off, you're like, "Yeah, where is Bran? That's weird." And now Hero will make a charisma saving throw.
If this is a charm effect, then everybody has a bonus to being within 30 feet of me. What's the bonus? I have to look it up. Advantage.
I rolled a 19 straight roll.
15 if we have advantage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ronnie continues to walk away. Although you said 18 or 19?
19.
19. Hero, you are the first to hear the singing and realize what would have happened if your will had not been weaker. Roll a history check.
Oh, God. 17.
Excellent. Okay. The limited time you've had on Athanasia has afforded you some opportunities to overhear stories of sailors who frequently tell stories about strange things occurring out on the high seas. The singing, along with the sort of trance-like state of Ronnie, brings to your memory the idea that what the merfolk have been called, the sirens, is so named because they are famed for being those who sing and draw sailors to their death on the rocks and so on. Clearly, in this situation, there aren't any rocks to go aground of, and you have no idea what the source of the actual voice is. But certainly, the legends exist.
Do any of the legends end positively?
Not in your experience. It's usually luring someone to their death in some form or another, whether to sink the ship and therefore drown, or to be drawn into the lair of some enchanting female to be eaten.
Cool.
Various, of course, fish tales grow bigger as time goes on. Insert your version of the sailors' exaggerations here, but it always ends badly. Watch, beware ye, and listen not to the songs of the siren in the siren sea.
Lovely. If nobody else is gonna go for her, I'm gonna try to grab Ronnie's arm to stop her.
Cool, sounds great. Go ahead and make an opposed strength check. Ronnie, you're rolling at advantage.
Strength.
For strength.
Why did I do this? This is the third 16 I've rolled in a row, so 17.
Nice.
Natural 20.
Oh, dang.
Just like tosser.
Okay.
So 20.
In the arm wrestle between Ronnie and Hero, Ronnie wins. Somehow, whatever is affecting her is invigorating her need, and somehow adrenaline is keeping her from being dragged away. She fights actively against you and begins moving with more purpose, dragging you with her.
Hey, everyone!
How far away is everybody at this point?
So it's been, I'll say, a couple of rounds. She's using her full movement, but she isn't double moving. So we'll say she's about 60 feet inland from where she was previously.
Is she moving at half speed because she's dragging me?
Well, now, yeah. For the last couple of rounds, she was just using her movement. The pirates, now kind of noticing what's going on, because it's kind of a big to-do to try and get Ronnie to stop. They're like, leave your companions to their fate. You'll only get snared in her trap and eaten alive. Actually, at this point, Rocky, because you're close enough to the Buccaneer, go ahead and give me a perception check. Awesome. It's not that difficult to spot. You see that the Buccaneer has got wads of cloth rolled up and shoved in his ears.
Okay. Well, I think we've got a problem. Can I communicate with the ship and tell them we have a problem?
Yes. You have telepathy within 60 feet, so that should work fine. While you're figuring out what to say, who's got the next lowest passive perception from Hero?
I have a 12.
All right, let's assume that's the next. So go ahead and roll your charisma saving throw at advantage because charm effect.
I have an 11, so I'll be next.
Well, I think you're inside the ship, right?
Yeah. I mean, we did do the funny I pop out my head thing, but that was more of a... Yeah.
19.
Okay. You now actually hear what's going on, and you two, I mean, you're a bard, so I'll give you advantage on this roll. Go ahead and roll history.
It's time for some counter bagpipes.
13.
Yeah, exactly.
What's that?
13.
13. You don't remember quite as much. Like, you were studying stories about other things on that day in Bard College. But you do know, oh yeah, sirens, that's the thing. That's what the sea was named after, of course. That sounds about right. That's the thing that's happening right now.
I will go ahead and run up to Hero. Actually, I'm going to look around for, where's Bran?
Yeah, where is Bran? Roll a perception check.
7.
Awesome. Bran is nowhere to be seen. Rocky, what are you saying to the ship?
Hey, we have a problem down here. People are wandering off.
What's going on? Let's get back aboard the ship. We have the stones. Why is everybody wandering off?
That's an excellent question.
Boop, 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 boop. I guess I'll look on my readout and see what's going on. Are people just wandering off?
Yeah, sounds good. I would say go ahead and roll an Arcana check using the keys, arcane senses. I would say, let's call this. You have the divination stone. You got all those stone spirits. What's your Arcana bonus right now?
Plus 10.
Yeah. Let's call it a straight Arcana roll for you.
I rolled exactly 10, so it's just a flat 20.
Okay, great. Between the divination, let's see. The divination stone is detecting a magical influence in the area. It isn't able to pinpoint a location from this distance, and it also identifies that the effect is not coming from the same sphere of magic as any of the stones that are currently loaded into the ship.
Okay.
There's some sort of magical effect that will make sure that you're protected from that. Darn it.
I just imagine that Yara's literally putting her hands up to her mouth and making it unnecessarily difficult to understand.
So, yes, there's some sort of unidentified magical effect in the area, Rocky. Be on guard. It's probably affecting some of the others.
Speaking of which, Rocky, what's your passive perception?
Yeah, it's a 10.
Cool. So you also hear this song, the music now, sort of filtering down to you. Funny enough, you don't actually have ears, but the vibrations are picked up and sort of resonate inside of your crystalline structure. So go ahead and roll your charisma saving throw.
Before I do that, can I say, hey, there's some pretty music coming?
Yes.
No, Rocky, don't listen to it. Don't. What are you doing?
Wait, what was I rolling again?
Charisma saving throw.
He's already failed.
Yeah.
What was I?
9.
Yeah. Oh, there goes Rocky. Hero, you now have a Ronnie and a Rocky wandering off. Jareth is okay. He's fine. But it looks like the pirates are all just still sitting there watching you wander off. One of them's like shaking its head and just going, these guys are doomed. Yeah, actually, that is a good point. So, Yara, inside the ship, because you're sitting there scanning and doing stuff, the divination stone does show the image, the outline of Rocky because he shows up as the destruction stone. And you see that the outline of Rocky is now wandering off further into the... You can keep a pretty clear bead on him from the ship, but he is indeed walking away.
Okay, so I'll tell the rest of the crew we're battening down the ship. There's some sort of unknown magic affecting everyone on the island. I have no way to counter it without getting closer, and if I get closer, I'm going to risk being affected by it. So let us follow the heading we have right now in the destruction zone and see where it leads us.
All right.
And then we're gonna blast it.
So I guess Hero and Jareth at this point, what are your what's the plan?
Well, I'm gonna let go of Ronnie as long as it seems like she's not about to just gonna bolt. If she's just moving at a regular pace, then I'll let her go.
No, yeah, I mean she's still sort of moving with intent, but not especially quickly.
I'll just kind of look hopelessly at Jareth, and because there's no way we're gonna stop Rocky. Do we just follow?
I don't think I have any way of telling that it's sound in nature from being
Do
inside the ship.
do I hear it at least?
Yeah, those of you who have succeeded on your charisma saving throws, you hear the song. It does in fact sound like, a very accomplished singer, female, probably young adult. It seems to be coming again very sourceless, not really coming from any specific location. But those obviously who are affected by the enchantment are all walking inland.
Okay, I'm going to use, what do they call again? The Pipes of Haunting.
Ooh.
And I'm just gonna blast away on them, just full on, big breath, just the worst noise you could possibly make.
Awesome. Are you using a particular feature of the Pipes of Haunting, or just attempting?
I'm just playing the pipes. Their feature is to make people frightened, so I don't think that applies in this situation.
Okay.
I rarely use it. So
as an ad hoc application of the effect, I will say if you can successfully make them frightened, you will suppress the charmed effect.
okay.
So what's your DC? How does that work?
I think it's just the DC. So yeah, it's a DC 15 Wisdom save.
Okay. All
If
those
they-
who have been affected.
Okay, if they succeed, they're immune for the rest of the day.
Cool. Bran, Rocky, and Ronnie, go ahead and roll a wisdom saving throw?
Yeah, Wisdom saving throw. The DC. Let me double check the DC real quick. It is a Wisdom save. I know that.
So hers is charisma, yours is wisdom. Shit.
No, it's a 16. It depends. It varies. In this case, I'm using an artifact. So
Okay.
I'll holler at Allison.
15, right?
16.
So 15 fails? Yeah. I was like, I rolled a 4.
You are too far away. You
Oh, damn it.
Pipes of Haunting in the back of your head, but in the meantime, you hear this enchanting music. To you, Bran, it
No,
sounds.
if he fails, then he's frightened.
Oh, if he fails, he's frightened.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah. If he succeeds, then he doesn't get the effect.
Okay, so he wants to fail. I get it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So
I don't trust him, but I trust him more than the strangely.
Yes. So Bran, you are wandering off into the brush, and you're starting to leave the beach behind, and you hear this song, the enchanting song of this woman coming from somewhere around you, and just as you begin to discern the voice of this singer, it begins to sound like your erstwhile human wife, and your heart is pulled inward, and you are convinced that it must be her. And even though you know that she was reverted into the form of a bat, it means nothing to you. You continue walking, and then suddenly out of nowhere, this blaring bagpipe comes from the beach, and it completely snaps you out of what's going on. And now you're afraid. You're afraid of the sound that's coming from the beach. So, like, right now, the song, you can't hear the song that's enchanting and alluring, and instead you hear this really nasty bagpipe coming from the beach. Like, ah, ah, ah.
Everybody's worst nightmare.
It plays. You're welcome to decide what Bran does at this point. I mean, you're not obligated to run, but you can't move closer to the source of your fear. So
He's like, oh my god, it can be played underwater. Ah!
So Ronnie and
Not
Rocky,
underground.
what were your saving throws?
I rolled an 8.
Okay, so you failed. You are also frightened. You are frozen in place. The thing that you thought was your mother's voice is now suddenly shocking you out of the trance. But you are now afraid of the noise coming from the beach. Rocky?
I rolled an 18.
Okay, you
Are you
successfully ignore the sound coming from these bagpipes, as the thing that just draws you so much more is this what would be in stone spirit fashion sort of a female version of a stone spirit. You don't remember who she is, but she sounds so familiar. It almost feels like, you know, returning to your mother lode, even though you are technically your own mother lode. And so it's a very strange sensation. It's like going home, but not remembering where home is.
I'm gonna find her first.
Can I grab onto Rocky before he zooms off and just like climb, just hold on to him and just like ride, just let him take. I don't want him to go by himself.
So you're gonna ride the Rocky piggyback.
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead and roll an acrobatics check. Fairly simple, just to see whether or not anything interesting happens.
Different dice for this.
I want to oppose this because I want to find the singer first.
Yes, go ahead. We're gonna do. We'll say we're opposing with strength.
Okay, hold on. So
Athletics.
am I doing 2 rolls or am I just doing 1?
You're doing 1 acrobatics roll. He's opposing with athletics.
I'm using my inspiration for this because
Okay.
Yeah, this is not going to work out. So I think that's going to be 11, including
Okay.
the 1 inspiration I rolled.
Oh no! Against Rocky's what?
20.
Oof. Yeah, like you attempt to like jump on the back of his calf as he's running, and as you sort of like parkour up, he reaches above himself, grabs you by the scruff of the neck, and tosses you to one side. And you kind of like
No,
skid.
you can listen to her later. I'm going now.
Rocky, listen first. Go away, puny horde lady. I don't know why you would talk like that. Anyway,
I wouldn't call her puny either. She's got a nice right hook.
I mean that's fair.
Okay,
So
well, I'll still try to run after him.
okay, so you'll continue to move after. It's not that difficult. You move at the same speed as him, so
I can,
just
there's unarmored movement with the elementalist. I think it's an extra 15 feet per round as a bonus. So
Sure.
I'll keep up with him.
And are you? I seem to recall you have an option to choose 1 or 2 favorite elements. Which one are you choosing?
I took the subclass that lets me have a couple.
Okay.
So the 2 that I have are radiant and necrotic.
Which one are you using to move?
Oh, because of what just happened, the radiant.
Okay. So what this means cinematically is that different person. Hero is basically using the light within to propel herself. So every time she steps, there's this small flash of light and it propels her forward a little bit more, which accounts for the whatever it was, 15 foot of movement extra. Is that right?
I think it is. I don't have the Sears of Power open, but
At any rate, you're moving faster than he is, and so it's easy for you to keep up.
I'm just going to keep pace, yeah.
Yeah. So in the meantime, we have a frightened Ronnie, a frightened Bran, and a Rocky who's charging off into the brush, closely pursued by Hero. Jareth is still on the beach. Yara is still in the key, and the pirates are still watching all of you as if you are so screwed. What do you do?
How far away is Rocky at this point?
I mean, it's been a couple of rounds, so he's moving at base speed of what, 25?
30.
30, so 60 feet away.
Okay, I'm going to get closer to Rocky, and then I will cast. I'll start playing slower on the back.
Okay.
And cast slow on him.
Nice. So you magically force his tempo to match that of your song. What's the saving throw?
It's going to be. Why did I not? Right. Oh, so DC 16 Wisdom.
16 Wisdom.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, I sure I wrote that down.
Uh, 12.
Okay. Rocky, you fail, and your speed is what, halved?
Yep, half speed, -2 AC, -2 Dex, no reactions.
You're just like, oh.
So it's Whoa, sorry. I was trying a thing. That didn't work. Yeah, so Rocky, your speed is reduced, and Hero is now even more capable of keeping up with you. But as you guys watch, Rocky's path, again, is fairly direct. He's moving past obstacles as easily as he can. Despite his slowed movement, you see that he's moving in a very specific direction. And Yara, you can continue to watch him as long as he's within your the relevant range based on the number of stones that are embedded in the key at this point. So
Okay.
once he steps out of that range, you would lose sight of him, basically.
Well, we're just kind of following at this point.
Okay. So you command the key to move on to the land, and it begins hovering above the ground at 5 feet, unless you choose to have it rise higher. There are a couple of like trees and other sort of low shrubs and stuff like that that might get in the way. If you'd like to go above any of the vegetation, it would probably be about 15, 20 feet.
Yeah, we'll do that. I'm not just going to bulldoze everything over on this island. So.
Okay. Charles, I can see your video moving at this point, so yeah. Okay, so the key will hover about 20 feet up in the air. At this point, the pirates have this being the first time that they've seen the key actually moving in a flying way. Now sort of all gasp and watch as this thing floats past, and this is the closest thing that any normal-born person in Athanasia will come to having a UFO experience. They all kind of just watch as this flying ship floats past, and they kind of shake their heads, look at each other, and are just like, they start trying to dig themselves out of the sand. So I take it everybody's just going to continue following, yeah?
Yeah, we don't know where the effect's coming from exactly, so.
Okay, so Bran, Ronnie...
I mean, when you look past him, he's walking in a straight line. Do I see anything in front of him?
There's a lot of vegetation. There's nothing specific that causes you to believe that he's going toward a specific destination. Let me think about this. Yeah, you wouldn't... I mean... There really isn't anything from where you are that would suggest a landmark or anything specific. I would let you roll, but you would unanimously fail. Like, there's no way to succeed at this from your vantage point right now.
Can I hear the direct? Can I tell the direction that the singing is coming from?
Again, the singing itself appears to be sourceless. It's kind of just ambient. The only sense of direction you get from, as far as the effect is concerned, is the direction that Rocky is walking.
Okay.
He is walking, I will say, the cardinal direction he's walking right now is west, which is further inland from the beach.
I want to get in front of Rocky, and then I'm going to cast a spell ward.
Okay.
Which will prevent... let me check on this quick. I believe it's a 40 by 20 ovoid.
Okay.
Hang on, I don't have all the rules on that one written down because it was long.
So, am I still frightened? Or is the bag...
Yeah, you're still frightened of me.
Even without the bag?
It would have to, basically the spellcaster would have to make an opposed DC against me, I guess.
Okay. Is this from the protection sphere?
Yeah, no, it's from... But it's from the protection sphere, page 186 in the PDF.
Okay. Bottom
right. You create a ward, represses magic within the effect. 1 spellcasting ability check against each magical effect, item, or summoned creature. If your check exceeds the spell save DC or sphere DC, the effect is suppressed.
So the spell ward I see, it says you create an Aegis that grants the target advantage on all saving throws against
or
magic.
A ward.
The next one down is the one you're talking about. Okay. Cool. So you make a spellcasting ability check against each magical effect. If your check exceeds the spell save DC or sphere DC of the magical effect, the magic item ceases to function. Yeah. All right. So go ahead and make your spellcasting check as you cast this on Rocky.
Do you just use your whatever, I can't remember what to call it. In my case, I guess it'd be charisma for my base.
Correct. Yeah. So you would roll a d20 and add your charisma bonus.
Okay, that's what I figured. Yeah. 11.
11 total.
Yeah.
So one thing that you learn as you're casting this ward, the ward is successful. You surround Rocky in the effects of it, and you attempt to actively seek out and suppress any magical influence that would be affecting him at this moment. It's like trying to build a sandcastle when the waves are beating against it. Like you attempt to construct this magical barrier around Rocky, and after several seconds, the influence of the singing comes on more strong, and it sort of begins to erode that. And it's almost like you can't keep this castle constructed. The longer you try to sustain it, the more it seems fruitless. It's not going to actually prevent Rocky from hearing and being affected by it.
Okay.
I'm going to say Bran and Ronnie, you're both sort of frightened back into senselessness, not senselessness, no. The ability to sort of think and reason. You are currently frightened of Jareth, but you're not being charmed right now. So theoretically, you could act if you wanted to. It would just be a little weird because are you still playing the pipe?
Yes. Yeah, it lasts for 1 minute.
Okay. So until the end of that minute, you can see and hear and realize what's going on and watch what's occurring, but because you're frightened, you won't be able to move closer to Jareth. And right now, Jareth is kind of matching Rocky's pace.
But I see Rocky still moving away.
What's that?
I see Rocky still moving away, though. They're like moving away.
Yeah,
But
you can see he's moving more slowly than normal, and obviously Jareth cast the slow spell on him. But yeah, he's still continuing to move.
But I can't get closer to Jareth.
No, because of the frightened effect. Yara, because of your vantage point, you might actually be able to see what's going on. Roll an investigation check.
I think that's 19, but let me check. Yes, it's a 19.
Okay. From 20 feet above the surface of this island, you're able to see kind of off in the distance a little bit. And again, because the key is able to track Rocky's position exactly, because he's within range, you're able to kind of start getting this trajectory, and the divination stone sort of anticipates his path. And you can see that it's now outlining what looks like further into the island, what appears to be a smallish sort of inland pond at the base of a waterfall. And the waterfall itself is maybe 30, 40 feet high, coming up off of a raised portion, what looks like probably like a natural spring of some kind. And in the center of this little pond, you see that there is a little sort of a 10 by 10 rough sort of rocky area. And the divination stone kind of gives you a dotted line off in that direction, and it reads out anticipated destination.
Okay, so I will communicate however we have to out to the people on the ground.
Right.
The divination stone has predicted the end of their path. It looks like that there's a small pond and a waterfall that's feeding into it, and a small island in that inlet. That appears to be where everyone affected by the magic is heading. Beep boop.
This is Yara opening up the iris in the bottom of the key, sticking her head out and going, "Hey, this is what's going on."
Yeah, we had those little like communicator thingies, but I don't know if I
That's
have
right.
one of those yet.
Yeah, no, wasn't that included in
You
the?
have
in the-
beacon. You had
Okay, I have-
everything beacon had except
So
for
Okay.
screen.
I'm
You've been
using
communicating-
the tappity tap thing instead of
Okay,
the
so yeah.
pulling my head out.
That makes sense. So you're able to do the communicator. That's fine.
Yeah.
So you pass this along to those who have communicator.
I do like the joke of yelling out of the porthole though. So.
Okay, everybody, what are we gonna do with this party?
No, I have something I can try, but I have a question, Jay, about mechanics because
Yes.
overnight when we rested, I did not get back my access to the light sphere because I did not do a check right.
Okay.
Now my question is, because of the whole thing that happened at the end of last session, and I de-attuned to the Darkstone, do I not have access to either sphere now, or what's going? I'm not sure how this is working.
Let's take a look at how I wrote that drawback.
Because
I wouldn't.
It seems like it's a totally different mechanic for the second thing that happened, so I'm not really sure. And I don't want to stop the game for this. I don't know if I can try what I'm thinking of to stop Rocky or not.
Right, I hear you. So each time you use a sphere associated with your fiendish nature or any associated talents, you gain a -1 penalty or proficiency bonus when using the light sphere. When this penalty equals your proficiency bonus, you lose access to the light sphere. When this penalty equals your proficiency bonus.
Yeah, but when
Each time
you told me that I lost access completely when I grabbed the dark stone.
Correct. So the way I would have interpreted that basically is you gained essentially a -X penalty equivalent to your proficiency bonus. What's your proficiency bonus?
For at this level, it's 5.
Okay, so you're essentially you're being treated as if you're at a -5 penalty to your proficiency bonus when using the light sphere, which means that you lose access to it. That was from grabbing the dark stone. Let's see. So you lose access until you perform a ritual of penance over the course of a long rest. Because you have only just now let go of the dark stone, this is the soonest you could have performed such a ritual.
Right.
And because you haven't performed a ritual since you have let go of the stone, then you would still be under that penalty.
Okay, then never mind. I can't do it.
Okay. Which technically also means, yeah. Does that mean you're using the darkness to travel instead of the light? I think it does.
I guess it must, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's interesting. All right. So the little bursts of darkness, little sort of cloudy, kind of swirling wisps of tenebrous energy.
I'll just shout out loud. I thought maybe I had an idea to stop him, but I can't do anything.
Complications due to drawbacks. No.
Well, we have no choice.
It's my own fault.
Fire the spire shot.
Yes. At this range, Yara, the divination stone is actually now able to pick up what's going on, and it begins to like hone in. Like where before it was kind of just like pinging this radar to see what could show up, it suddenly now centralizes, and you can see a dot in the shape of a humanoid in the middle of that rock on the pond, and it begins like to essentially analyze and identifies that as the source of the ambient magic.
Okay. So yes, it appears that the divination stone was correct. There appears to be somebody on that island that is this magical field is emanating from.
How many stones are currently in the key?
Let's see. Rocky has his. Ronnie has. I think I have at least 5. I know I had 5 socketed in when
So
we
we've
were
got-
going out to the ship.
We've got time, light, warp, death, protection, alteration, destruction, mind, divination, now dark and weather.
And light.
So-
Did you already cover that one?
Yep.
Yes. So the light stone is with Ronnie. The time stone, I think, was in the ship. The warp stone was in the ship, I think. Death stone was in the ship.
Yep.
Protection is Finney. He's in the ship. Alteration, I think, is in the ship. Destruction is Rocky. He took it with him. Mind is in the ship. I think that's 6. Divination is in the ship. That's 7. Dark is out. Weather is out. So 7, I think, is the most you should have.
I got 6 of those. I must have missed one. Alteration, divination, warp, death, mind, and time. What was the 7th one?
Alteration, divination. Oh, protection.
Protection. That's the one I missed. Okay.
Yeah, because Finney is there inside the ship. I assume. I don't think Bran took Finney with him.
Interesting. I have protection in here. Let's see.
So at 7, your relevant radius is 640 feet. So this is the distance to the center of this island is evidently within 640 feet.
Can I do anything from in here that would help Rocky break this and the rest of Ronnie? I don't know where Bran is. I'm guessing I don't see him.
You don't have any. The divination stone isn't able to read his exact location.
Does he have a stone on him?
No, you have both of them.
No,
okay, nuts.
Both Finney and the alteration stone are aboard the key.
Okay. I was hoping you'd have one, but that's true. I think you did get them both.
Basically, what this means is that your line of sight is identical to what it would be if you were just physically there in that position. You're on your own self, because it's transmitting visual data to you the same way that it would like normal light. One of the reasons that you were able to identify humanoids underwater with the merfolk was because it was within line of sight, and so you're basically just picking that up, and the divination stone is outlining it and showing it to you. So because Bran is somewhere in the underbrush, under trees and shrubs and stuff, it's not able to pinpoint his location exactly.
Yeah, he's blocked by stuff.
Shrubs.
Shrubbery, foiled again.
Shrubbery.
Yeah, I'm just trying to... Like, I could try to dispel, but I'd have to get closer and leave the ship. I don't think I can. And even if I could dispel, the effect is ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
So it would break it out of them, but then they would immediately probably have to save against the effect.
Right.
Is that good logic, or am I not thinking of this right?
Run that plan by me one more time to make.
If I cast a dispel on Ronnie and Rocky, that would snap them out of it, but they would immediately have to save again.
So, I would say there's a couple of ways we could arrange this. The dispel ultimately is intended to undo the effects of one magical effect or stop one spell, however you interpret it. What I would do, so what you remember,
but it's ongoing. This music is still playing.
Yes. Now, between what Jareth is doing and what Yara is doing and your combined magical knowledge, I'm going to assume that you have this conversation because your characters know this, but you as players don't necessarily. Basically, because of the way that saving throws work against ongoing effects, like Jareth's enchantment for the frightened condition, the second you save, you are then immune to that effect for 24 hours. So if you're able to induce another saving throw and they succeed, then they would be immune to the ongoing effect. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the thing you're trying to do is induce another save. I think you can do that either with protection or with the dispel ability. I don't remember which. But
Universal has the dispel.
Yeah, so the concept is sound. It's just a matter of which one you want to use, and I will house rule it. Just do something to make that happen, and I'm fine, because that's a sound magical principle. It makes sense. It could happen that way in the world. Why not?
I say we just follow them. Let them run. Solve whatever this is at the center.
Well, I see no reason to let them continue now that we've located their likely destination. We should probably break the effects on them. Yes? No?
Hero's getting impatient because she can't do anything. That's all.
Just trying to stop Rocky from running off.
The only thing she can do right now is punch things. And there is apparently
once a minute is up and Bran is... Wait, do we ever find Bran? No. Once Bran is back to his senses, could he maybe dig a hole and let Rocky fall into it?
Theoretically, although he still has not... Because the frightened condition basically snapped him out of his ability to be affected by the enchantment, when that frightened effect stops, he essentially, because he failed to save and throw before, the suppressibility would re-engage and he would continue to be enchanted at that point.
Okay, I have an idea. Okay, I'm gonna get. So Rocky's moving super slow. I'm gonna try and tie a rope around him.
Okay. He's literally moving slow. He's at a -2 penalty to his dexterity. I will say that's with advantage. Go ahead and make your we'll call it just a dexterity check to get everything.
Remember back in the day when there was a rope check?
I know, right? Use rope.
Are you gonna be the snow speeder and run around him until he trips and falls over?
I'm not gonna. No. I'm going to tie a rope to him, and then we're gonna tie that rope to the key, and then we're just going to fly away.
Okay. This is an interesting rescue plan. I don't mind.
What is it? What was it? What was the check again? I'm sorry, just Dex. You say it was a Dex check?
Yeah, go just basic Dex check.
I see.
It's a 16.
Okay.
I think we can accommodate that. I'll move the ship up and lower the anchor so he's got something to tie it onto.
Does the key have an anchor?
I thought we did have one. Do we not?
It is its own anchor.
It's a flying ship. Why would we have an anchor?
Oh no, it was the other ship that had an anchor.
Yes.
Never mind.
Yes.
The actual ship.
That's because I was like, I could have sworn Rocky jumped off with an anchor, but that was a different ship.
Yeah, the key is its own anchor. You were using the Maelstrom's anchor. Your 16 Dex check does succeed. So Rocky, as you're trying to stop tying me up, quit it. You come in around his waist, you tie it a couple of times. At this point, you can't really get physically high enough to meet up with the key because it can't get low. And I mean, you could climb a tree, I guess, if you wanted to, and sort of hand it off to you.
Land in front of us, and then we just kind of tie it off as we go by, as Rocky slowly walks by.
If there was a clearing, yes, but right now you're in sort of the thick of trees and such. This is like a lot of palm trees and other sort of deciduous trees and such.
Okay, I'm gonna run ahead. Let's see, it's 50 feet of rope. I tied some off to him, so let's say I run ahead 40 feet and then tie it to a tree.
Okay. So, you don't have forever, so let's go ahead and make a check to see how well you can tie this. We'll say that this will set the as high as your check is will be the DC of getting it pulled out.
Oh God!
And again, this is your dexterity.
Yay! A 7.
Okay. So as Rocky is moving, you are just barely within the time you have as he moves past. You're able to get this thing tied onto the tree as hastily as possible. And then with a 7 DC, Rocky, go ahead and give me your strength check.
That's a lot good. You just slowly break it.
You roll like a 2 and
I did not. Is that a saving throw or just a check?
Just a check. Just your strength plus your 20.
All right. 17 total.
Cool. Jareth, you watch as the rope holds valiantly. Unfortunately, the roots of the palm tree you tied it to do not, and it slowly just... And now you have this huge palm tree being dragged along behind Rocky, moving slowly through the jungle. At this point, I'd like everybody to go ahead and give me perception checks.
everybody.
Yes. Are we not sure about the dispel plan anymore? So I see the tree being
do something.
This has all been happening. So while Jareth is busy trying to tie Rocky to a tree unsuccessfully, Yara, you're welcome to try to dispel. You want to go ahead?
I just need somebody to get to range. I suppose I could try to protect my ears. That's the only problem. If I can.
I would like to remind you that you've just recently discovered a way to target your spells through the key using the interior of the bit.
I thought it didn't work, though. It just absorbed it.
As you may recall, the important thing as far as channeling spells through the bit is concerned is that you can point them. So as long as you're inside of the bit and the target, the laser beam would hit the thing, if you can do that from the bit, then you can target your spell from there.
Okay, so I'll try to do that then and see if I can target a dispel onto
Okay.
Rocky's
So
location. At least
what
give him
you're
another
gonna be
chance
doing-
to save.
What you're going to be doing physically with the ship at this point is you're going to go ahead and do a barrel roll.
Yeah.
You're going to end up with the bit on the underside of the ship. You'll climb down inside and point using the bit, targeting Rocky. So the spell will trigger the exact same way as if you were physically present, casting it from your point of origin, but you're just channeling it through the bit as the conduit. You're essentially using the bit as a gigantic wand. That's the thing that's happening right now. So go ahead and how does the dispel ability work?
I am double checking real quick, but I think it's basically I got to spend some spell points and. I really need to print off this universal section.
So if you spend a spell point, you can automatically dispel active magical effects with a spell level or spell point cost equal to or lower than your proficiency bonus. That's one spell point. Otherwise, you can just let the base ability say you make a spellcasting ability check if the DC equals 10 plus the spell's level or 10 plus the number of spell points. On a successful check, the spell ends. So if you succeed on this, if you auto dispel it, or if you succeed on your spellcasting check, then Rocky would get an additional save, and if he succeeds, then it would end for him.
Everything would end for him.
I'm going to guess this appears to be a pretty powerful effect because of the amount of people it's affected and the vast range over which it's able to do so.
Yeah. There's a dog on the island.
Yeah. Can I spend a point and try to... Well, I probably can't get Ronnie and Rocky. They're probably not close enough together.
Well, Ronnie's only afraid. She's not.
Yeah,
Also,
at this point, probably because it's past that minute now, your frightened condition for both Bran and Ronnie has ended, but you are still wandering off into the middle of the island, and everybody kind of left you behind. So you're still walking, but you're just behind everybody else, and you're kind of lost in the underbrush. So people aren't really paying attention to where you are at this moment.
I'm just going to cast it and at the base cost and try to just make a roll and break it.
Okay, so go ahead and make your spellcasting ability check.
Pretty good. I rolled a nat 17, so that's going to be, what, 20... I got +5? It's just plus your spellcasting ability, right? So 23, if it's just the plus the spellcasting ability.
Yeah. Okay, great. So you target Rocky, you get Rocky in your sight, stay on target, and you fire your Dispelling Blast. Rocky, you feel this arcane punch in the back of your head, and all of a sudden everything around you is sort of scrambled for a moment. And as your brain is resettling, you start to hear that song again, and you realize that it's trying to enchant you and draw you in. Go ahead and make your saving throw.
All right, and that was a
Charisma
saving throw.
With advantage.
But
With advantage.
with advantage. 15.
Excellent.
Did I save?
Is that the advantage?
Yeah, that was with advantage.
Okay, so with advantage, yes, you succeed on your saving throw.
Okay.
Now that we've got all that out of the way, you shake it off. You realize that the magical effect was affecting you. That wasn't a kindly, motherly female stone spirit calling you. That was a trick.
And there's a rope around me. When did that happen?
I'm dragging a
What's
tree.
going on there? Dragging a tree behind you. Gareth and Hero, both of your perception checks reveal that you hear the fluttering of feathered wings approaching from what seems to be all sides, but you're able to quickly identify them as coming in from above and now sort of landing all around you. Everybody go ahead and roll initiative.
Everybody.
We tried so hard.
Tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it didn't even matter.
Speaking of which, am I still entranced?
No, at this point, because the jig is kind of up, and the source of this enchantment realizes what's going on, the enchantment ends on everyone.
Fantastic. Well, where am I?
You are about, I'm going to say, 60, 70 feet behind. You were sitting there frightened for a while and didn't really know what to do, and then you were back to being enchanted, so you were continuing to walk. But yeah, you're back a little bit.
Cool. No idea.
So that's 12, I think? 12? Yes. All right, 25 to 20.
Oh shoot, I gotta roll still.
After we report initiative, do we want to take a break because it's 8:30?
Sure.
21.
All right, so we got Yara at 21. 20 to 15.
16.
15, Jeff.
Okay, so we have Bran at 15. Nope, at 16. We have Rocky at 16. You can go simultaneously if you choose. Jareth at 15. Jareth at 15. 15 and 10.
11.
All right, Ronnie is at 11. And the enemy, bad guys, who are... Yep. Are technically at 12. And then lower than that.
6.
Okay, heroes at a 6. The Harpies will get a surprise round on you guys because you were distracted and otherwise occupied, and we will return in about 5 minutes to begin the fray. Stick around.
rolling awesome, but I'm gonna now that we're in combat, I'm gonna be rolling 2, 3.
All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. The harpies come in flying, and one of them lands on top of the key, and you realize they are from inside. While you're inside the bit, you still have that holographic interface surrounding you on all sides. So you're able to see. You can kind of see from your vantage point, like the silhouette, like the slightly warped light field that represents where the key is, which is why coming from now the bottom of the key, you can see through the key and to the other side where a harpy lands on top and begins scraping and scratching at the iris, attempting to get in. And it fails miserably, not understanding how the mechanism works. You can see that this harpy is now trying to essentially scrabble its way inside. There's another one that plops down in front of, let's see. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And to hero, a harpy lands on top of you and attempts to claw your face. And does a 14 hit you?
No.
Okay, it will make another claw attack. Does a 19 hit you?
It does.
Okay. As one claw comes scraping by, you quickly dodge out of the way, and unfortunately, as you're sort of coming back around to come in and punch, it slaps you across the face with another rake. Actually, here's the surprising one. Its foot. That's what would have been the thing that kind of caught Hero off guard, is its foot comes down and scratches you. You have this very attractive set of claw marks now across your face.
Cool.
Yeah. It's going to deal slashing damage.
Just got raked across the face. Ah! Thanks for the cool scars, though. Ah!
Yeah. You suck, but also I look cool now. 10 plus 3, 13 points of slashing damage as it rakes you across the face. And then a third one will come in and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rocky, a third harpy, will land in front and it will look you in the eyes, and it will project a vision into your mind.
Excuse me.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh gosh.
16.
Okay, great. It attempts to, with a mildly psychic effect, anticipate what you desire most. And as you see the shape of this harpy shifting and changing, it's your mind. Nothing from everybody else's view. Nothing actually is happening. But from Rocky's view, its visage, its appearance begins to sort of warp and change as it's attempting to adjust to what Rocky finds the most alluring. And apparently this harpy doesn't know what Rocky finds the most alluring because it fails miserably and it remains a harpy, although attractive as harpies go. Not necessarily something that Rocky would find alluring, so it's not affected. And it sort of screeches and doesn't like that, so it then claws at Rocky, skittering off of his gem skin. So that was the harpies. Coming down to the next in the initiative order this round will be Yara.
Just because I've wanted to activate this ability, I want to. So I guess I'll give an order to attack our, repel the borders.
Yeah.
So we got a harpies clawing trying to get in, but then I want to activate the horrifying howl.
Ooh, haven't we already activated that once today?
Did we activate it once today already?
Yeah, Ronnie did it as you guys were coming up toward the Parts Bay.
Oh.
Sorry.
So I just hit it, and it's like
the little screen pops up with a note that says, "Horrifying How currently recharging."
Yeah. Well, shucks. So I got ensign. I don't need that.
Feel lucky I don't have a soundboard.
Oh no.
Well, I got that in the ensign. What about the Aura of Dread?
Was that it? Was the horror of hell or the horror of dread?
Well, I'm pretty sure the Mind Stone is the one we activated earlier, but there's another one from the death. There's
Oh, the
another
Howl,
one from the
okay.
Death Stone, the Aura of Dread, that does something very similar, and I think that's already in ensign spots. So,
Okay, if it's available, go for it.
its range is not as good, but
All right, what does it say?
so a black flag apparently just pops up from the ship, emanating an aura of dread.
Okay.
The ship creates a pulse of horrific energy, and every creature that's an enemy of the ship who's on board or within 210 feet must make a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw, or become frightened for 1 minute.
Okay, you send forth this pulse of dread, and you notice that as it passes through each of the harpies in radius, the ones that you can see appear to kind of like let that sort of aura of negative energy pass through them, and they turn and again with fearsome beauty snarl at the ship and appear to be unaffected.
All right, the lasers then.
Lasers it is!
I think that's my action, probably activating that and then giving orders.
All right, sounds good. So that was Yara coming down to Rocky. Nope. Brant. Nope. Jareth. There we go.
I was looking for an appropriate background, but I can't find one that'll meet Twitch TOS.
You have
Like naked harpy ladies flying around.
Yeah.
Like,
To be
Yeah.
fair, we aren't live on Twitch, and this video isn't going up on Twitch. So as long as it doesn't hurt YouTube's policies, then it's probably fine.
Do we as a party feel comfortable with
I'm not
that?
gonna mess with it.
I'm good with whatever. Just yeah.
And YouTube is actually lax, but your channel will get banded or branded as as mature content.
Oh, I think yeah. Well, I don't think we. I don't know. Dave was the one who uploads the videos.
Without deviating too far from the game, it's all done by the algorithm. So,
Fair enough.
anywho, oh yeah, I was just gonna shoot one because I can't really find any good spells to use.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just gonna shoot him with my crossbow. I guess it doesn't matter which one I shoot at this point because that was only like a 11.
An 11 against one of the harpies.
Yeah.
All right, that's not enough. It skitters off of the scaly foot.
Okay. I will fire another shot.
Do it!
That's a 20 total.
Total hit.
Cool. Haha, max damage.
Ooh.
Which is 10 point. Wait, is that? No, that's the wrong one. Oh, that's a d6. Sorry. Yeah. No, that's good. 4 points damage.
4 point damage. And is this the harpy that's on Hero or the harpy that's on Rocky?
The one on Hero.
Okay.
Get your blood.
Hero, the one that's on you, takes a crossbow bolt, you said?
Yes.
To the stomach, taking 4 points of damage.
And I'm going to move. How far away is it to the key?
The key is floating 20 feet above you.
Oh, straight over. Okay. Oh, never mind. I will take cover behind a tree.
All right, sounds great. That will bring us down to down to Hero.
I'm going to punch this harpy that took the crossbow bolt to the stomach.
Yes.
destructive blast, and I will use the disintegrate blast type if I hit.
Ooh, yes.
Alright, so...
That disintegrate is awesomely
I think it's
powerful.
hilarious that it's just like a blast type you can take. The only
It's
prerequisite is that you have at least 5 levels. That's it. Come on. 18 to hit?
18 will hit.
Oh, goodness.
I'm gonna need to get a vacuum cleaner to hoover up all the
Okay, so
enemy
The
ashes.
harpy dust.
3d8. This is going to be necrotic damage.
Is that an attachment we can fit to the key?
I mean, I'm gonna make
It becomes
one.
an enormous handheld Hoover vacuum cleaner.
Suck.
I need
Suck.
these interns to do something useful.
Oh my gosh! I just realized it could become a dust devil.
So that's 17 plus... What's my level?
14.
17 plus 14 necrotic damage.
Ooh,
I'd really like
wow.
the whole key to transform into
I'm
a
sorry.
giant maid.
Force damage.
17 plus 14 is a
So
total of
31.
20.
31 plus 4, 35
Plus 4
force
for what?
damage.
There shouldn't
Well,
be
because
4.
it took the 4 because I'm
Oh, right.
totaling
I'm
it.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. So 35 total damage
Mm-hmm.
is not enough to kill it.
That's good.
Wow.
The disintegration effect only applies if it's reduced to 0.
Correct. Yeah.
Is that the one that had already been hit?
Yes.
I'm gonna stay where I am.
Okay. That's the end of the surprise round, which means that another 2 harpies appear flying in from that central pond and are around out, basically. They will arrive at the end of the next round. So we start up at the top of the not round with Yara.
Okay. I'm probably just gonna go the old reliable blasty.
Yes.
Now the bit, I don't know if I can get a bead on the ones that are trying to break their way in from the bit.
You would not from where you are now. However, remember that you have the ability to command the key to accomplish maneuvers of whatever variety. You can
I suppose
also
I could also
you
just
can also
detach.
theoretically detach the bit and begin flying around independently. Yes.
I'm probably just gonna do that because that seems to be the only way I'm gonna be able to peel these
Do a
harpies off.
barrel
of
roll.
Do a barrel roll.
Barrel roll. Okay, so what that's going to do is you are disengaging the bit from the key. That means you're not relying on the bit's stats. Your movement is going to be 30 feet. Actually, in order for it to function, you would need to have at least 1 stone embedded, and that determines a couple of things. So do you have a stone with you that you can embed, allowing you to detach?
No, because I think they're all in the main drive.
Okay. So Yara is sitting here thinking to herself, aha, I can detach. And as she, manipulates the controls that command the bit to detach, you see again the little warning sign that says, no power stones. What's the word that I'm using for them? Socket. No power stone socketed. Please socket a power stone before proceeding.
That was poor planning on my part. Oh well. Shoot. Yeah, I can't really do much from where I'm at then. I can't see him to shoot at him.
You can legitimately command the key to do a barrel roll if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, that's probably one way to get him off, so.
Ooh, good thought, Heath. You want to do sliding flanks?
Are they on the flanks?
Yeah, well, it's on the ship. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was like, they're probably not on this side, but yeah, if I hit it, yeah, they're gonna get it.
That sounds cool.
So I just activate anti-harpy measures.
Yes. Okay.
And they're not gonna have a good time.
Action. Any creature or object within 10 feet of it, either of its sides at any point during the move, must make it. You know what? In fact,
we should just do a barrel roll while we're just chopping them up like a blender.
Yes, that's amazing, and that's rules as written. Yes.
Will it blend?
Well, Harpies blend.
So this is a DC 10 dexterity saving throw, or takes 2d6 slashing damage. So it's going to take. It fails its check. So as the key rotates,
We blended Harpies.
you and the spires that are not used as spire shot. The spires basically shard themselves into so many pieces and swirl in these sweeping motions as the entire key flips over, and you are now in the bit on top, and the harpy would theoretically not have moved so that it could be chopped up. So it's now adjacent to you in the bit, and it has received 2d6 slashing damage. Go ahead and give me how much that is.
9.
9. It takes 9 slashing damage from the scything flanks of the key. Well done. That was cinematic. Is that your turn, Yar?
Unless I can still shoot at him. It's
why
probably
would it-
command to do the maneuver.
I would say commanding would be an action. Yeah.
And
So
then,
you could use your
but do I
movement.
get multiple? Since we have so many crew, does the ship get like multiple
That's a good point. Yeah.
actions?
So because you're the one commanding the ship, I'll say that the key can take its actions on your turn. So that's fine. You would have used your action to command to do the sighting flanks, which means that you still have the actions of the key left. So yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, we're gonna fire now that I'm blending the harpy, and it's in.
Okay.
I assume it comes somewhere in our fire arc as we're spinning around.
Yeah,
So-
as you're spinning, the bit lands on the top along with the harpy, so you can just basically turn in place and go.
Yeah, that was actually I like the way that turned out.
So go ahead and unleash your full barrage of energy beams.
I'm looking to see. Okay, it's just +6 to attack. I had to look up the attack bonus for it. So a 21,
Will hit.
and that is actually a decent amount of damage. 3d10. So just 13.
Okay, 13 plus the 9 it's already taken. Results in 22. It screeches loudly as the energy beams pierce through its right foot. 22 total damage. Excellent. Is that your turn? Does the key have any other actions it would like to take?
I mean, I have no action, but I can't think of anything to give, so I'll just.
Close it up. All right, Brandon and Rocky, you are now on your first turn together. You can act in coordination. Either of you can go first.
You can go if you want.
Do I see the commotion?
Yes, there is. There's a flock of harpies coming and flying around the key, and you can see it 70 feet ahead and 20 feet.
I move toward and say commotion.
You get closer.
Like small pitter patter.
Yes. What's your movement?
20.
All right, so you get within 50 feet.
Yay. Well, don't move. I would get.
Within 30 feet?
Okay, I'll get there in a couple turns.
All right. You're busy running. Rocky,
Okay, how many are within 30 feet of me?
you've got one on top of you. You've got one on top of Hero, who's 30 feet. And then you've got one that's on above the key, so theoretically within 30 feet, but the key is blocking your view of her.
Okay. I'm going to trigger my my stone power here.
Okay.
I'm going to do Chain Blast.
Ooh.
And I'm going to augment that by 1 point so that they don't get as good a save.
Okay.
All right. So I arc some lightning towards, well, the one on me, I guess.
Yep.
Target may avoid the damage with a successful dex save. And that is just a 14, I believe. They'll only take half.
All right. She nimbly pushes off from you as your hands start. Okay, this is a good visual reference. Has Anybody seen Justice League? Zack Snyder's Justice League?
Yep.
Okay, so you'll know what I'm talking about then. Like Rocky claps his hands together and pulls them apart, and this huge arc of lightning, just like Zeus in that battle scene, and then pushes forward at the harpy, and it arcs through the air, and the harpy just kind of goes ah! And like dodges, taking of course half damage.
Okay, so that would have been 13 points, but it's half of that, so 6. And since it saved, I do not get to do anything else apparently. So, all right, that's my turn.
All right, you gonna move?
Is it on top of me?
It's within melee distance, so unless you disengaged, it could get an attack.
No, I'll just stay around that.
Okay, very good. That was Rocky and Bran. Jareth, you're up.
I think I'm just gonna shoot from cover again.
Nice.
I'll go ahead and the one is still on hero, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a 18 to hit.
18 to hit will succeed.
Okay. 5 points of damage.
It takes it.
All right, let's shoot again. A 24 to hit.
Will hit.
3 points of damage.
Total of 43 damage at this point.
How's it looking?
These are what? Crossbow bolts?
Yeah, hand crossbow bolts.
A couple straight into the ribs. And it's bleeding profusely now with 3 crossbow bolts sticking out of it.
All right.
That was Jareth down to Harpies at 12. Because it's now the Harpies' turn. The other 2 arrive. The 3 that are still there. The one Harpy is going to try on top of the key to, like, attack the bit. Like, try and figure out like how to get inside. It's going to make a... How would it do that? Insight check? Sure. Insight check to figure out how this thing works. Wisdom's not that good. It stares at the bit, having just gotten repeatedly blasted with energy shots and not liking it, and not understanding how it works and not how to get it inside. So it's like it kind of looks at the bit like a turtle that's inside of its shell, and it kind of like slashes out experimentally at it, but realizes it's not going to get anywhere, and so it flies away. It's going to go down. Its fly speed is sufficient. Yes. Yes. And it will now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, 10. Fly down to Jareth, who is behind cover on the open side, and it's going to claw at Jareth a couple of times. Jareth, does a 18 hit you?
Yes.
Okay. It claws at you, slashing your right leg with its foot. And you take 18 points of slashing damage. As it then begins to sort of snarl in your face with, again, it's strange, right? Like, these appear to be normal human women, except when it gets to like the latter part of the forearm, or like the closer to the elbow, where it begins to get more like bird-like, and these feathers kind of come off, and the huge claws are very sort of bird-like, avian. The hair sort of long and flowing near the face, but then as it comes down to the nape of the neck and sort of the extended parts of the hair, it sort of fades into sort of a mane of feathers, and then the same, like just above the knees, it begins to sort of fade into this scaly kind of bird-like backward kneed set of claws on the feet. The wings themselves appear to be somewhat bat-like, and the shoulders on up to the joints of the wing are feathered, and then there's one large kind of horn-shaped hook that comes out like thumbs. Strange-looking creatures. That brings that Harpy's turn to an end, and we have the one on Hero, who is going to continue. Actually, she's not going to do that. She's going to stare in your face, Hero, and attempt to enchant you with a visage desire. Roll a wisdom saving throw, please.
I don't get at these. 18.
Ooh, okay. Again, the Harpy attempts to use her mildly psychic powers to pierce Hero's mind and detect what it is that she finds most desirable. Unfortunately, Hero's pissed, and she doesn't care. The Harpy's like, ah! And begins clawing instead. No, she can't be convinced. Does a 21 hit you?
Yeah.
She will slash at your head, once again giving you a second set of very dashing claw marks, dealing 13 points of slashing damage. And then the one that's on Rocky, sort of upset by the fact that it's been shot with lightning, now readjusts its priorities and goes over to flank Hero. This one will go ahead and give Hero a couple of slashes.
Does it leave my range?
It does. Go ahead and make your attack of opportunity if you choose.
All right. A 22 to hit.
Will hit.
Okay. I have to remember how to use my weapons now. 6 plus 5. So 11 points.
Okay.
Now, I think I have something. Hold on. Let me...
Yes.
No.
So you said total of 5?
No, 11.
Okay, 11. So that's... Okay. Go ahead.
Shoot. I am not ready, so never mind.
You can use some kind of superiority die, I think, right?
I think, but I don't know if I've ever...
All right, look it up. If we find it, we'll recognize it.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
All right. The Harpy comes in behind you here, and of course, since you're sitting there trying to fend off the one that's attacking your face, apparently, the one that comes in behind you kicks you in one of your shoulders from behind, and that spins you around just enough that she's able to like flap her wings a second and then come down with her other foot and claw straight across your chest for a total of 17 points of slashing damage.
Ow.
That brings us to the end of the Harpy's turn. The other two are coming in, and they position themselves on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another one goes on to Jareth, does nothing, and then the third one finally locates Bran and swoops in and begins sort of descending in this sort of majestic, alluring way in front of Bran, looking like it's about to try and enchant him. That brings it down to Ronnie.
Am I anywhere near?
We'll say within like 50 feet.
Okay. 50?
Yep.
Okay. Are there still ones engaged with Hero?
Yes, there are 2 engaged with Hero.
All right. I'm going to aim my short bow at one.
Awesome.
Ronnie likes me. She really.
No, you're just always surrounded by bad guys, so I can get the sneak attack.
That's true.
I'm just using it for this sneak attack.
I am.
But I thought you were sneak attack.
Sneak attack.
Sneak attack.
I'm going to use my inspiration book.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 18?
18 will hit.
Yay! All right. I rolled a bunch of ones. $28 points of damage.
28 points of damage.
Wow.
Wow.
Ow!
Good old Owen Wilson. Wow.
That's actually, yeah. I was going for it.
Let's see. So 43 damage plus the how much you just did?
28.
28. I gotta actually calculate that. Not dead. However, threads the needle through all the palm trees, the foliage and the trunks of palm trees, and just like sails straight into the left leg of this harpy, like crippling it to one side. This one has 3 crossbow bolts sticking out of it and an arrow in its leg, and it is now kind of like on the ground, sort of like just really looking bad.
Can I use my movement to move 30 feet closer?
No problem. Yeah, you're pushing aside the underbrush and sort of dashing closer as much as possible. So you're within 20 now. That was Ronnie's turn. Bottom of the round, Hero.
I'm gonna punch the hurt one again.
Cool.
This time I'm just gonna use the ink blast type. All it does is change everything to I'm sorry,
Excuse me.
necrotic damage. So.
Cool.
All right. 23 to hit.
That'll hit. You're hitting the hurt one, right?
Yeah, though I'm trying to finalize that. Pretty good. 18 points of necrotic damage, and it has disadvantage on saves against anything dark sphere until the end of my next turn.
Ooh. Okay. So. Yep. Sure enough. How does Hero want to do this?
Jeez, catch me off guard. I just kind of want to, since it's on the ground, I just kind of want to use my foot to like stomp its head into the dirt.
Ooh.
Yeah, just real
Okay.
hard.
So now that this one has been debilitated, the one leg falling underneath it, you use a quick movement of your foot to sweep its other leg out from under it, basically spinning it off balance and resulting in it sort of planting into the dirt. And then you come around, taking a slight leap, and just crush its head with your heel, and it collapses under your weight. Good old dope monk moves.
Yeah.
Are you going to move any bonus actions?
No, I don't want to take an attack opportunity. I'll just face the other one.
Okay. That brings us back up to the top. Oh, end of this round. That happens. You start to hear shouts coming from the direction of the pond, which at this point is probably, I'm going to say, maybe 60 feet. You estimate further on. You can hear shouts of despair, pleas for help. Please, we've been taken captive. Help us! And you see what looks like a small child now sort of escaping and running through the underbrush in your direction. Maybe 50 feet away at this point. Yara, you're up.
Yeah, I'm going to keep blending the harpies unless they've flown away.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the one that was within range of the energy beams has now flown down and chilled out next to Jareth. It seems like the fight is mostly on the ground at this point.
Okay.
Well, yeah, yep.
I suppose I'll shoot at the one on Jareth.
Okay, you'll have to maneuver the key down so you can be underneath.
Yeah. I'll just keep spinning back and forth.
Spin the blender. All right, so you command the key to move. That's one of its actions, and then you can fire the energy beams.
Still rolling pretty good tonight. So 22.
All right. That's a hit on the one on Jareth.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the 2 on Jareth.
18 points of damage.
18 against that harpy. Excellent. That one's actually there. And then the other one was on Bran. That's right. All right. Now, did you want to shoot The one that you've shot before, or the new one? Or the not damaged one?
I think I declared I was going to shoot on the one on Jareth, so whichever one that is.
There's two on Jareth. It's either the one you shot before, or it's the new one that just arrived.
I'll shoot the one I've shot before then.
Okay.
I've got a choice in the matter.
Yeah. So that brings it to 30 points of damage taken. That helps me. All right. Yara has used her action. Any bonus?
No, I don't have any bonus available. So
okay. That was Yara's turn. Down to Bran and Rocky. Bran, you've got one harpy in front of you, looking alluring and enchanting. Rocky, you have no one to fight.
Yes.
I can relax.
There's one on Hero. There's two on Jareth. There's one on Bran that you saw fly past.
How far away is Jareth from me?
Within 10, 20 feet.
I'll probably go help him out. Do you want to go first, Bran, or do you want me to?
Quick question. Are these considered beasts?
They're not.
Okay, then you can go first.
All right. And just as an aside, that thing that I thought I could use, that's only if they're attacking me.
Okay.
All right, I'm just going to go up to one that's on Jareth and do a full round attack on it.
Okay.
So that is a natural 1 to hit.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Dang, that's terrible. A 13.
Will just miss.
And a 15.
Will hit.
So yeah, hit with 1.
As you are attempting to make this attack, you are strained. A crack appears from your elbow all the way down your arm and into your shoulder blade. Until you receive healing of a magical nature, you take disadvantage to your dexterity saving throws and checks.
Okay. So that's 6 points of damage. No, I'm sorry. 11 points of damage.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and use my... I always want to say second wind, but that's not right. Never mind. I've already used my action surge.
And are you attacking the fresh one on Jareth or the damaged one on Jareth?
Oh, the damaged one? Can I take it out?
You said 14 points of damage?
11 points of damage.
11. That puts it at 41 damage. It is still up.
All right.
All right.
Terrible.
So Rocky comes in and punches this harpy in the right leg, and in so doing, accidentally punches through a palm tree, the palm tree that Jareth was attempting to hide behind, and in so doing, it cracked Rocky's arm and dealt damage still. But Rocky kind of shakes his hand, and it's like hitting your elbow, right? Your funny bone. It kind of gives you this numb feeling along your arm. That was Rocky. Go ahead, Bran.
Okay. I'm just gonna do a grasping vine on it. It's within probably a minute.
Yes.
Okay. Grasping vine. It's just a DC 19 dex save where it's pulled 20 feet in whatever direction the vine wants.
Okay.
I was curious though. I used to be able to give plants thorns and it would deal damage. Is that not really a thing anymore? Spheres.
This is a nature thing, I presume.
Correct.
Okay.
Grasping vine. It's 175 on the BF.
Okay. Is it under something specific, or is it just grasping vine?
It just says grasping vine. The plant mastery. There we are.
Plant mastery. That helps me. Grasping Right, excellent. So you cause nearby vines to lash out at a creature within range. You must make a dexterity saving throw. It fails or is pulled 10 feet directly toward the vine. Where would you like to move this creature?
Away from me.
Okay. So you pull it 10 feet toward the rest of everybody else. Until the effect ends, you can direct the vine to lash out at the same creature or as another one as a bonus action on each of your turns. The distance increases with higher levels, but it doesn't deal any actual damage.
Yeah, and that was my question. Is that in 5e they had a provision for making plants with vine or with thorns?
With thorns, yeah.
Damage, but there's nothing like that in Sphere, so I didn't know if that was something that you, as the DM,
Right. Is that a thing? Yeah.
It's a very small thing that they just didn't bring up in Spheres.
So I'm going to say that the base ability that would allow you to deal damage is going to be your pummel ability. I would say if you want to use pummel to target a, quote, branch of vines, instead of dealing whatever it is, bludgeoning damage, I think, I would call it slashing. But basically it would be a pummel ability.
Well, like in 5e with the entangle or the grasping vine, anything like that, if you used a thorny, if you gave it thorns, it would deal damage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm not gonna make a pummel right now. That seems egregious.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. For right now, just because rules is written, and I haven't had a chance to really think through how that would work. I'm going to say rules is written. It doesn't deal any damage.
That's fine. Okay.
That's all. There's that. Brand's Valiant turn. Are you going to move?
I guess how far away is it from me?
So it approached you directly. So it was in front of you. Now it's 10 feet away from you.
20.
So you're going to move. Oh, now it's 20 feet away from you because of the, yeah. So that would actually pull it probably back into, where do you want to place it? Do you want to place it next to Jareth and Rocky or away from Jareth and Rocky?
Probably away. I just want it to be at least 30 feet away from me. So I back up 10, it pushes 20.
It's going to get pulled. Yeah, in my brain, I'm just saying this for reference. It's going to get pulled northwest, so it's away from you and away from Rocky and Jareth. Do you want to move? Where do you want to move? I guess you want to move toward the Harpy or toward Rocky and Jareth, or just away?
I will move away 10 feet just to get me.
Okay. So you pull the Harpy away from you, and you walk away from it, accomplishing a total of 30 feet distance.
That's it.
Got it.
Gravy.
All right. Nothing else? Jareth.
I look over at Rocky. Rocky, your arm is cracked. And then you hear it sound backwards. And feel yourself 12 seconds younger.
Yeah.
You reverse time, and your arm is healed, and you gain 28 hit points.
Nice.
Nice.
Whoa. I was not down that many, but thank you.
The bonus action, I'm going to attack the Harpy in front of me with my claws. I don't have my sword out yet.
Are we flanking it? Does he get advantage?
Sure.
Okay. Oh. Throw it on the floor. One better, cool. Let's see. 19 hit.
19 will hit.
Uh, 5 points of slashing damage as I just quickly rake it back.
Yes.
How's it feel?
Oh, nice with the taunt even. That's did how much?
5 points of slashing.
Points of slashing puts it at 46 damage. Awesome.
On crusty winch.
Yes, as you slash it across the stomach, it screeches at you, and does not look happy. I'm imagining Jareth holding his lute in one hand and doing the Black Panther claw thing with the other one, and then doing his little move. That was Jareth. Down to the Harpies at 12. The one that just got damaged, and the one that is hurt, that was on Rocky, and that is on Hero, and then just watched her sister get crushed in the skull. Those two are going to fly away. Rocky and Jareth, you can make your reaction attacks if you choose. Hero, you can make yours if you choose.
I absolutely choose.
Okay, I guess he doesn't want to exist on
Although,
the
what's the...
table anymore.
All my punches are spells. What's the rules for just a fist punch for not spells? Just, is it dex plus proficiency, or is it...
That's an interesting point. If you're just making an unarmed strike, is that not in the rules for Elementalist?
It is technically, but hang on.
I would say you're proficient with your unarmed attacks, so add your proficiency bonus, and then dexterity, I would assume, if that's the base ability you would use to normally attack.
I think I miss. 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's actually exactly what you need. Their AC is 14.
Well,
Ta-da!
I'm pretty sure I have Sentinel. Also, yeah, I have Sentinel, so it's not gonna get to run.
Ooh, okay.
I think it's just a D8. 6 points of punch damage.
Bludgeoning. All right, so 6 points puts it at 23 damage total.
And it cannot leave it cannot flee.
And it does not move. So what Hero does is, as this thing like screeches around a little nervously, like jumps up into the air, flaps its wings a couple of times, Hero grabs it by the foot, yanks it back down, and then uppercuts it as it's on its way. The second one is attempting to flee. Jareth and Rocky, how'd you do?
I rolled another natural one, so that dice is gone.
So much bad luck.
Jareth?
I rolled a 7.
Okay, so the claws come out. They're slashing. It doesn't do much. Skitters off of one of the sort of scaly bits. Rocky. Oh no. Okay. What? How would this? Okay, so as it's attempting to fly, it leaps up and then jumps away from the trunk of this tree. As it's shaking the tree, a coconut falls, and instead of punching the harpy, you punch this coconut, and this thing is apparently so unripe that when your fist slams into this coconut, your fist cracks and you lose one finger from your 3-fingered hand. As it falls to the ground, you're at disadvantage with attacks made with that weapon. And you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage as your finger falls off of your hand.
Well, that sucks.
Ouch. All right, that was the Harpy's attempt to escape. It escapes, and it flies up to the top of the ship, again attempting to pry open the iris. It succeeds, and basically fiddles with the metal bits, scraping sort of aimlessly until it accidentally touches the rim, and then the rim causes the iris to open, and the Harpy slips inside.
Uh-oh.
Everyone.
Incoming!
All right, that one is now inside the key. That is still next to Jareth. The Jareth one will attack Jareth. Nope. 1, 2. So up to that and up to that. Yeah, Rocky, you'll get a slash from. Actually, this one's fresh. Ooh. No, that's way better. Yeah, this one is actually going to stare Jareth in the face. Go ahead and make your saving throw. Wisdom.
Is this a charm effect?
It is a charm effect.
Okay. Advantage.
Actually, no, I'm reading this. Their charm is never mentioned.
Okay. I get it. Advantage on wisdom saves, though.
Fair enough.
I'm
gonna get advantage on this throw him out.
I know. I was like, well, yeah, that would have sucked because my first roll was like a 4. But the second one was an 18, so that's 22.
Ouch. Okay, so as this harpy stares you in the face, Jareth, what would be the most alluring visage of Jareth's desire? Who would he see?
There was once an old lady in Usoria.
Oh no, that's a deep cut. Yes. Do you have inspiration right now, Chelsea?
It took me a minute to catch on that one. It's like,
Yeah.
If you don't have inspiration, Chelsea, take inspiration. D6. That's awesome. That's who it is now. It doesn't matter who Jareth would have seen.
No.
That explains why it went this way. You see the old lady from Usoria, and you look at her, and you're like, "Oh, well, hello, ooh, Rose, get out of here!" So it doesn't work. You succeed on your save. Oh man, it will claw you. Bored. Oh, it rolls a natural 1 too. Man, this is like a little
lot of natural ones.
ones. Ouch. It's going to claw. Oh no. It deals. Let's see. Uh, 24 points of slashing damage to itself. As it's so, because it's mildly psychic, it reads your disgust and like flashes its own face as if trying to claw off the illusion that it has just seen through your eyes. Wow. Okay, that was interesting. Finally, the one that was attempting to enchant Bran is now. Is it held in place, Bran, or is it just moved? We can't hear you.
Not by the word, it just moves it, apparently.
Okay, so it's just moved. It also is going to look above it and realize that there is an opening on this key. It's going to attempt to open the door and succeed. So it is going to fly up, perch on top of the flank of the bit, and use it as a place from which to get a bit of purchase. Feel around on this iris, and then as it touches the rim, the iris opens and it climbs in from below. So you now have 2 harpies on the inside of the ship. That's the end of the harpies' turn. Yes, all of them have done. Oh, because that one harpy attempted to move, came back down and got sucker punched in the face. She's gonna slash back at Hero, failing once, failing twice.
Thank goodness, because
Ronnie, you're up.
Did you mention earlier a child fleeing from danger?
Yes, there is in fact a child about 50 foot out toward the pond who is attempting to run in your direction through the underbrush, shouting, "Help us, help us, we've been taken captive."
Can I check to see if it's a real child or if it's some horrible illusion that's tricked me into trying to save it and then I die?
Back in the day, we would call this, "I attempt to disbelieve." So go ahead and roll an insight check.
We have trust issues.
Roll at disadvantage. Because you're
after the effects, after the events of the last 10 minutes in game time. Yeah.
So far, Ronnie would have no concept of this because she hasn't encountered it. It's a psychic fact, which means that she doesn't see anything going wrong.
Ronnie is a suspicious person in general.
Yes.
And she definitely remembers that door that was a mimic, so yeah.
Okay. You said 17?
Yes.
Okay. You peer at that child suspiciously. What you notice is that it is in fact a child. However, what once looked like smooth humanoid skin and hair now is revealed these short sort of feathers of plumage coming out of the head, these budding wings. It appears to be a young child harpy who has created a sort of very flimsy illusion around itself to appear as a regular human, a young girl.
Aha. Don't trust that child. Kill it.
Kill the child!
I will ignore the child for now, though. It's
Okay,
far
sounds
away.
good.
There's still a harpy on Hero, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It just got uppercutted.
Someone's seen Screechers.
Yes.
I'm going to. I have 20. It's only 20 feet away, so I'm going to move up to it, and I am going to stab it with my sword.
Kit. Okay.
I'm looking for my sword damage. There it is. And I think it still has poison in it. So we'll just say that.
How long does that stay?
Until this. I don't know. That's a good question. Because I think I have attacked with it before.
You have a couple
Yeah, so how would I just use my.
regular silver
I'll
short.
look it up. How would I just use my regular short sword then?
Cool. You pull out your silver short sword and you slash across this harpy.
27. Does that
Ooh.
hit?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I'm sorry, 27 doesn't hit. 26 will hit, but a 27 does not.
Okay.
Charles's camera is frozen and he's just mid.
Yes.
Mid grin.
He's mid chuckle.
Weird face.
No, it's not weird. It's just a big smile.
30 points of damage.
30 points of damage to the one on Hero. Howie. 53 points of damage taken. It looks rough.
And did my insight check, did that count as like a bonus action, or is that just a
I'm just rolling that into the turn.
freebie? Okay. Then can I use my bonus action to attack it with my punching dagger?
Yes.
My,
yeah, your assassin's blade.
dagger. 19.
All right. You successfully jab it in the back of the neck.
6 points of damage.
Okay. It misses all the important arteries, but it hurts.
Okay.
Total of 59. All right. That's the end of Ronnie's turn.
Yes.
Coming down to bottom of the round, Hero. Aw, you guys are fighting side by side.
Literally just taking advantage of her.
That's fine.
Ronnie is so heartless.
That's fine. That's fine. That's what I'm here for. I'm gonna try to finish this guy off, but this time I want to use the disintegration ability.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna punch it, and I'll probably use my inspiration to hit because
You got to make some kind of movement. Like something needs to puff into dust. Something needs to be Thanos at the end of
I've
the.
tried so many times. Well, a few. Okay, inspiration. Ugh. Okay, so that's 19.
19 will hit.
So then 3d8. So 13 points of force damage plus 14 points of force damage. 27 points of force damage.
I'm busting out the calculator. 27.
And yeah.
You punch her straight in on her sternum. And you can see the effect of the disintegration begin to eat away at the interior of her chest. But you can also see that it stops after several inches, and it has this fist-sized hole where her sternum used to be. She screeches in pain, but she does not disintegrate. I'm so sorry.
Wow, I thought that I didn't think they had much more than 50 hit points. Okay.
You were really close.
That's too bad.
All right. That was Hero's turn. You gonna move?
Yeah, actually, I'm just gonna back up from it, like get out of range.
Okay. Are you gonna disengage as a bonus action or anything?
I can't.
Okay, so it's gonna make an attack at you.
Monks used to be able to, but I can't.
Does a
No bitter.
15?
A what? 15?
15.
No.
Okay, so it slashes aimlessly, of course, sort of like clutching its chest. And that's the end of Hero's turn. Bottom of the round, because Ronnie called out, "Kill the child!" The child will sort of like stop in place and look around suspiciously and start turn around and begin running the opposite direction.
Can you imagine what it took for that child to decide I'm gonna go out there and save my parents, and then only to get like scared away? Wow.
Yara, you're up.
It should have picked better parents, I guess.
It didn't have a choice. Come on. Also,
Yeah.
because we're considering this the Key's turn as well, we'll say that the people aboard are going to be defending themselves against the Harpies inside.
Oh, do we have Harpies on board now?
Oh, yeah, we got 2 Harpies on board. One of them
Oh.
got in past you. The other one came in from the top.
All right. Well, I guess I'll keep. There's none left on the ground, are there?
There's one that's almost dead next to Hero and Ronnie, and there's one that's between...
And a child.
and the
Can I-
child that's running away.
Yeah, I'm not shooting at the child. Despite what Ronnie's screaming, shoot the
That's your
child!
law.
Shoot her!
There it is. There it is.
I can't see any of the ones inside, can I?
You can, because the holographic display shows you what's...
But they're not like where I could.
Unless you opened the iris to look inside of the ship and get line of effect, you wouldn't be able to affect them with anything. No. So you could move out of the bit and into the main chamber.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So as you emerge, again, universal gravity dictates that above you, standing upside down, is one harpy who's just climbed inside and sort of crouching, ready to pounce on someone. The other one is like 10 feet away from you, who has just crawled into the iris on the other side of where you are now. And so, like, at a slight curve, now sort of crouching and looks over in your direction.
Get
Snarls.
off my ship. Pew, Ray.
Nice. Go ahead and make your attack.
I'm still. Big Red did not let me down today, and that was an at 18.
Ooh.
This is like, just keeps coming. I think it's just 23. It's just base proficiency for Ray, I think. I don't know. I don't think you add your intelligence into that. Maybe I do.
It's a spell attack, so you would add your.
So it's actually 28 then if I'm adding both.
Let's call it that, because I don't see why you wouldn't. Yeah. Okay. So 28. That'll hit. Go ahead and do your damage.
Yeah. So I'm spending the spell point, so it's gonna be. What is that with the spell point? 8d8.
Yep.
I'll just do the average rather because I don't have 8d8s to
Right. That's fine.
do. Just to save us the pain of me rolling it over and over and over. So 32.
Okay, so 32 damage against the one on the inside. That's the fresh one. 32 damage down. It takes the ray to its right hand, and you see that this. What kind of energy are you using?
I'm gonna use heat, I think.
Okay, so you see this like these boils and blisters begin to arc up the creature's hand and arm, and begins like popping, and like the scales begin to like peel away and curl. Awesome. Was that your turn?
Yeah.
We're gonna summarize and just say that Prague, Flisbit, the interns, Morag and Dundren, and Astra all make attacks.
Just bum rush the other one, or both.
Yeah. Oh man, they are rolling horribly. Oh my gosh, one of the interns critted.
See, level
one,
up. Stop being crappy after this.
I mean, he kind of does. Like, this is a big moment for him. His bro comes in and makes a solid attack, and then he takes advantage of that and like comes in and really just slashes the harpy a good one. None of the other people in the key are able to actually land any hits. So the interns are kind of the MVPs of this sort of internal combat right now. I'm going to say she's taken another, I don't know, what is she at, 46? We'll say 20, just to make it easy. 66 points of damage total. Okay. That's the end of Yara and the Key in White Concert Hall coming August 6th. Yara and the Key. Brandon Rocky, you're up.
So how many are there here? Just
There's one currently next to Jareth and Rocky. There's one next to Hero that's looking really bad. And there's a couple inside the key that you can't see. Oh, and that fleeing child.
like a child, despite her odds. Can I actually whistle for Faye to wake up or dismount? Would that be too far away? He can obey simple commands, but basically, can I tell him to attack? Or is he too far away inside the key?
Oh, you're telling Finny to attack?
Yes.
I would say make a handle animal check at disadvantage because he can hear you, but it's pretty far.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Ooh, 2, so that's a 13.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of wakes up. You're not really able to sense what's going on the inside, but Yara, you would see that like Finny raises his head and goes, "Nah!" Sort of looks around and tries to figure out what's going on.
So at least defend himself. Is that an action or just?
We'll call it a bonus.
Sounds good. Is there somebody within 20 feet of me? Preferably the almost dying one.
Yes, within 20 feet. If you wanted to get up to the dying one, you'd probably have to use a movement.
I mean, that's fine. Just within 20 feet.
Sure. So you use your movement to approach the one that's next to Hero and Ronnie, and you're within 20 feet at this point.
Yay! Oh, wait a minute. Dragon's Breath.
To clarify, you're at range, but within 20 feet, you're not in movement.
Yeah, I'm gonna Dragon Lung.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What is that?
I get to pick a thing, and then I get to spew it all over him. And since I am plant package, I'm gonna vomit poison all over this guy.
Ooh, cool. All right. So you breathe in this lung full of air, and you can hear now kind of this bubbling and gurgling coming from inside of Brand's mouth. And then he vomits all over this dying harpy, dealing how much damage?
46. So that is.
Does she get a saving throw?
Hold on. 3, 7, 12, 18. Poison damage. Let me see what we got. Dex to make half.
She gets a natural 1.
Okay. So 18 poison, unless you want to. make that more comical.
How does Bran want to do this?
Because she got a natural 1, she like into it and just like takes it right in the mouth and just like
Okay.
falls.
Whoa!
This is nasty. This is nasty.
Okay, so she sees Bran coming, and of course she's in the moment of like fight or flight. She's about to die. She knows she's about to die. She sees this mole charging at her, and she screeches in defiance. And as she does so, there's this line of vomit that goes straight out of Bran's mouth and into her mouth, and she just gargles and.
Well, then drag me to hell.
Oh, this is.
So that's a thing that happened. She's gone. Jeez.
I kind of feel bad for him now. That was pretty horrific.
Yeah, did the child, the child was running away from this video?
Oh, the child was running away.
Okay,
First,
please fix that.
Just like traumatize the child. We've created another supervillain later to traumatize
she
the
had
child.
5 moms. Now she's got 2 less moms. Okay.
So we're terrible people.
It's the Bran's turn. Rocky, what are you doing?
Okay. That was awful. I'm going to yell at Ronnie, "I'm not killing any children," and I'll punch them in front of me 3 times.
I'll kill an adult, just not the kids.
Right. Now, so I was using my maul, and you said I now have disadvantage on that. Can I morph into a different one, or am I just going to have disadvantage?
It's still cracked. Basically, its state makes it impossible to morph into another shape and use it more effectively. You could use your other hand, though.
Sure. I mean, none of them are two-handed, so the great axe one is.
Okay, so it would have to be a one-handed weapon, but yeah.
Oh no, sorry, the maul is. Yeah. All right, I'll just do disadvantage.
Okay.
Gonna do 3 attacks though.
Okay.
That's a 14 to hit.
Hits.
A 12 to hit.
Hits. Nope, doesn't hit. Just kidding.
And another 14. So 2 of them hit.
2 hits.
All right, so that's 11. Another 11. 22 points of damage.
Oh, yeah. That's 46 total. Yeah. So this is a what kind of weapon?
Just the maul. Just
Maul.
bludgeoning.
At disadvantage, you kind of, again, because cinematically this is requiring 2 hands, you put one hand on the elbow of your other arm and you use the momentum from both arms to swing this now broken and shattered maul head at the harpy, and it takes all of that bludgeoning damage to its right leg, and you hear the bone crack underneath the weight. Anything else from you? Moving, bonus action?
No, that's really about all I can do.
All right, sounds good. Jareth.
I look over at Rocky and like, can you please stop doing that? And I'll go ahead and reverse time again. Deal another 28 points, and your hand's fixed.
Take inspiration for talking backwards.
Thank you.
And then I cast spell, bonus action, attack. I'll go ahead and attack. Actually, I guess I could use my move to pull out my sword. I attack with my sword. I hit them with my sword. 19.
19 will hit.
Jeez. D8. Okay. Six points of damage.
Nice. Okay.
Piercing, yes.
Currently 52 damage. And is that Jareth's turn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Down to the Harpies. The ones inside don't know any better. They're going to continue fighting, and basically they're going to look for the weakest link, so to speak, and maybe try and grab it and carry it off. The one that's still next to Jareth and Rocky is going to see what's going on and attempt to run. So go ahead and make your attacks if you would like. As it flees, actually, it will take the disengage action. There we go. And it will run away, flying off after the fleeing child. It will scoop up the fleeing child and actually fly on toward the center of the island. And then the ones inside are going to make their assisted and therefore advantage grapple check on the most vulnerable member of the ship, which happens to be the goblin. And the goblin fails and gets carried away. They're not taking the disengage. They're going to be they're going to be attacked by all the remaining people inside the ship. Astra does nothing.
Everybody else just pummels them.
The interns pulling it out successfully hit and save the goblin. Oh my gosh! So knocks the goblin back out.
Which is ironic because the goblin stole from them earlier.
They didn't know that. But yes, it is ironic. And now that they see that they're basically outnumbered and their prize is not as easily taken as they suspected, they flee and the iris closes behind them as they escape. That concludes combat. On display on the inside of the ship, Yara, now that you're there and you're able to see what's going on, the divination stone finally pops up and shows it appears that the analysis that it has been running this entire time finally resolves, and it displays a little blue outline around the humanoid at the center of the island, now that you're close enough, and it pops up in Terran a description of the creature. You see that it calls it a Selkie, and underneath, in quotation marks, sealkin. You're out of combat. What do you do?
I guess assess the damage aboard ship. Seems like all of our crew are still okay.
Yeah, the goblin took a little bit of damage in getting abducted, and then everybody else is pretty okay. Astra and Prague and Mordred and Dundren. What's his name? What did I call him? Mortag and Dundren. Thank you. Mortag and Dundren seem okay, but they're all kind of like looking at the interns with like a look of appreciation and shock. Like, where did that come from? Like, they're shooting the equivalent of like, magic missile and things like that, and doing some actual damage. So that's a thing. And then the people on the outside of the ship look like they've been roughed up quite a bit.
All that screaming finally got through. I guess I call out. Is everybody on the ground okay?
Sure. Ow.
There appears to be a Selkie on the island. This is where the effects are emanating from. Shall we nuke it from orbit?
Well, didn't the prophecy have something about Selkies?
Yes, I believe it did. The siren song.
Oh. I feel like that's important. But I also look really bloody, so.
Does anybody have access to the prophecy? Do you have the text?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Is that the right one?
Another be at Pirates Bay were chanted by the Sealkins lay. So the Weatherstone must have been the one in the Pirates Bay, and then Sealkin was apparently the one keeping everybody here.
It sounds like maybe we shouldn't nuke it then.
I don't see a readout that there's a stone there, though, correct?
No, you acknowledge that so far the prophecies have been more about finding the stones or understanding the conditions under which the stones can be acquired or what they do. This is basically just confirming for you that this was in fact the location that the prophecy was talking about.
Yep. I'm going to assume that the Weatherstone was the one I was referring to.
Correct. No need. It's fine.
It's
Kill anyone
fine.
you want.
Just nuke the child and everybody else. Blast them. We could have driven the Harpies off. Shall we just get everybody back on board and leave?
I see no reason to pursue it further.
I suppose we could rescue the poor marooned buccaneers that have found themselves stuck here for whatever reason.
Plugs, they're fine.
Oh, well then let's just screw them.
Oh, the group is so heartless. I love it. Oh my gosh,
We asked for help. They refused to help us, and they attacked us once more. They've made their choice.
Good point. We've given them plenty of opportunity to.
Just as a DM, I'm just curious, Jareth. What event are you referring to when you say that they refused to help you?
We did ask them for assistance during the fight last session.
Well, Jareth probably remembers that they were under a fear effect and were unable to proceed closer to the source of their fear.
I didn't know they were under a fear effect.
Okay, well, they were under a fear effect. When maybe you were gone for that moment, but Ronnie triggered the howling whatever, and it basically made everybody on land afraid. So they could not approach the key, which meant that they were effectively out of the battle.
Oh, I did know that. I did not put two and two together. Okay, well,
Are we still picking them up? Or even understanding that.
If they want to leave their weapons behind, I'd be fine. I don't care.
Do we really have the space and the key for more people who we don't trust?
I mean, you do have the physical space. As to whether or not you have the metaphorical space, that's up to you guys.
Yara would insist that we pick them up. They're marooned on the island, and technically I'm lawful, so it's probably not in my creed to just abandon them here in the middle of the island with harpies and who knows what else is out here.
There's only a couple left.
You have the twins, the lightning priest, you have the buccaneer and his monkey, and then you have the one very sort of dapper-looking cavalier and not cavalier, the swashbuckler guy, and then you have Martin, the mouse folk.
Selkies aren't considered beasts in your world, right? They're intelligent creatures.
Yeah, just like any other hybrid animal race, Selkies are essentially humans that come from seal ancestry.
Yeah, I don't care about those lives.
Oh, wow, okay.
So cold-hearted. Yeah.
Maybe they can pay for passage off the island.
If they wanna, where are we going next?
I think we need to figure that out.
If we're going somewhere and it's on the way, then I'd be fine as long as they agree to leave their weapons behind.
So right now you all are having this conversation on the battleground with Yara sticking her head out one of the irises.
I thought we had a little boop, boop, boop.
Oh, you do? Yeah, okay, yeah. So,
yeah.
But you're communicating up in, like, right now where you killed a bunch of harpies.
Yeah.
We can start making our way. Well, we don't want to be out on the beach talking about this. And we can't get back. I guess, Yara, can you lower as a rope or something so we can get back on the key?
Yeah, so
or is there clearing someplace? So we can like go back to the kind of off the side where all the beach where the pirates aren't.
Sure. So, whether by lowering a rope or by just physically navigating back toward the beach, but not near the pirates, you're welcome to reconvene, land the ship, and get back aboard.
I think those are fair terms. They need to leave their weapons behind, and then they can. It's either that or stay marooned on this island to be dropped off at the next not deadly siren harpy island that we find.
Sea turtles.
Veto, mate. Made a rope out of hair from my back.
Yeah, I mean that's for me. I mean that's they want to ride.
So
Drop
I
your
will,
weapon.
I will offer them those terms.
Okay.
I'll fly over them.
Alright, here's the term.
If there's any monkey business at all, just drop them in the sea and they can swim wherever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Chad, go ahead and make a note. Next game, go ahead and take a bump to your inspiration die for all the bull. Amazing. Okay, we're not going to worry about it. Just go ahead and do a persuasion check, and we'll see how they feel.
Oh, me? Oh my god! I rolled that.
Makes up for
What a
all
way to
the-
end the night. Okay.
One of them, the mousekin, is extremely scared of you, specifically Yara, because it feels like it's probably it's cowering in your presence, as if respecting you and your influence, your majesty.
I mean, I'm a lot more intimidating than I am persuasive, according to my skills.
Correct. The majority of the remainder of them all appear to be totally insulted by the idea that they would have to leave their weapons behind. But one of them, the one that kind of rallies the rest of them, is this swashbuckler who's in a very nice coat. And he kind of just says, "Men, how dare you? How dare you insult our rescuers? All of you, over into a pile, now! And he kind of like gets on your side a little bit, and they all begrudgingly sort of rise to their feet and toss their weapons into a pile next to the fire. And he says, "I apologize on behalf of my crew.
Apologies,
Truthfully,
at
Would
least
you
one
like
of
us-
you.
would
Has
you like us to
manners.
be bound to further assure that we will not be causing you any difficulty while aboard your ship?
I don't think that will be necessary.
You are most gracious and generous." And at this point, you have Martin coming and groveling before you like a queen.
Okay.
"I am not worthy. I am not worthy of your presence. I present to you my sword. May you take it with my humility."
Yeah.
His very tiny size.
Somebody better than Rocky making an inside check.
Yeah, I'll take the tiny mouse sword. Thank you.
I'm gonna make an insight check just because. Yeah.
All
I don't
right,
trust
very
you
good,
guys.
Jared. Go ahead.
It's probably gonna be yeah. Yeah, terrible roll. 18.
You've seen stuff like this before. It seems a little antiquated, but this mouse appears to be swearing fealty. Genuine, honest fealty. It appears to be very enchanted and impressed and respectful of Yara's authority.
How's it feel to be a pirate queen?
I just keep adding the crew. Or like, so you want to get off this island? Come on board. Join us. Ragtag band of stone gatherers.
Hey man, it's not pirates do it all the time. Press gang into crew.
We've got an army of darkness coming down. We need all of the all the loose pirates I can muster.
All this
Okay.
water.
Yeah.
So if you guys would like to write this down, you gain the following crew. You gain a priest of the Kraken named Victor. Viktor. You gain Martin, a mousekin swashbuckler.
Is he a mouseketeer?
I hate you.
You lose your
You
inspiration.
lose the inspiration.
It's worth it.
You gain Skag and his monkey Jack. Skag is the buccaneer with the red bandana.
Okay.
Gideon was the pirate captain's first mate. He's the one in the very nice sort of swashbuckler's coat, buttons down either side. And then you gain the twins, Jess and Jen.
This is so many NPCs. All right, so I'm like, Martine meets Lisbeth, Skag meet Astra, Morteg. I was gonna introduce them to all the.
Yeah, kind of. So
we'll work out roles later after we've seen that you can be trusted.
They're all plenty willing to take all the grunt work. So if they're just there operating the ship, they're happy to do that.
All right, interns. Not the lowest rank anymore.
Yeah, but the intern's in charge of the fire.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's like the interns aren't the lowest rank anymore. It's these two.
The interns have interns.
Well done.
The interns have interns.
Right. So Gareth's earlier question is a completely valid one. Where to next?
Good question. I don't know if we found all the stones this prophecy is referring to yet or not, but
so the ones that you've discovered so far, you know that you found the one in the shipwreck. That was one of the ones that Astra prophesied about. You found the one at Pirates Bay, so Astra's prophecy is now fulfilled. And then, were there any other prophecies you guys had? I don't think so.
What about the one at the base of the River Delta or Nye Forest?
I feel like that should be our next spot.
Well,
Yeah, that was one that we already knew about.
We now technically have, like, if we can find another mode of travel, we technically have two teams if we need to, split things up.
I'm sorry. Do you want to split the party?
I want to split our party from the bulk of the people we just recruited.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Well, are we going to give the Weatherstone back to
Prague?
Well, if we do end up, they're stones to power the key.
Yeah, I feel like if we were going to make another team, that group might make a good one, and I would feel better about letting the Weatherstone go with them.
You remember that the terms of Prague coming on board was that he wanted the Weatherstone to be back in his staff while he was assisting on board the ship.
Yeah,
the idea being, of course, that using the Weatherstone, he can essentially always ensure that the ship moves at maximum speed.
So we hand over the Weatherstone to them to fulfill our end of the bargain on that now that we've recovered it.
Out of the stones we have, I feel like the weather one is maybe one of the least dangerous, the least reality changing, at least.
Yes.
It seems like a local thing, not a universal thing, like death.
Right.
All right, I hand the Weatherstone to Prague.
Excellent.
And yeah, I don't know where we're going next. I guess the next location
Can we
that you...
talk to the divination stone? Can we just ask about any old stone we haven't found out about yet? Like, what about the life stone or the fate stone? Just ask.
Yeah, like, Yara definitely did that at one point and received a prophecy, so theoretically it is possible.
I mean, we could just try it, see what it pings, and decide then.
I think it's just going to repeat, basically, unless the stones have moved to a new location since we last attempted to use the divining.
Well, so, again, to reiterate how the process works, you can theoretically ask about any stone, and then the divination stone would give whatever response it does. You would use that to get into the area, and then the divination stone could detect within its range, be able to pinpoint that stone, and then you could track it down.
Oh, excuse me.
So any stones that you don't know the location of, you could ask the divination stone about it, and it could theoretically produce some kind of prophecy to help you locate it.
And we haven't heard about any stones that we haven't gotten yet, right? All the prophecies we've heard, we've gotten.
Yeah, all the prophecies you've heard so far have been fulfilled, yes.
So it stands to reason that now that we've got them, those prophecies won't repeat or anything. We're done. Like, they won't... Whoever this...
Unless we lose the stones again, and then we need to...
Well, sure.
Wait, we're talking about the main one, not the... Because there's the ones under the mountain and all those different ones. I feel like there's other ones that we haven't gotten.
You have heard about stones being located in certain places, but you haven't heard specifically which stones those are, what circumstance you're going to find them in, any of the details. So theoretically, asking about stones is only going to benefit you.
I would be terribly opposed to, I mean, not to rank the different stones, but maybe asking about a minor stone and then sending them after that. I mean, we have the death and intimidation.
Well, Hero doesn't know anything about the stones, so I can't talk.
Okay.
Well, which ones do we have left?
Well, I'm just wondering, we actually have quite a few, like telekinesis.
So right now, you guys have time, light, warp, death, protection, alteration, destruction, mind divination, dark, and weather. The ones that you still need are enhancement, creation, nature, conjuration, war, fate, life, telekinesis, and illusion. The war stone.
The war sphere?
The war stone, technically speaking, is named whatever the guild name of Yar's guild is now.
Yeah, it's more like a universal, but slash whatever.
Until we sort of settle on whatever it is, I'm probably going to call it. Where's that list of names that we came up with? There was one that I was drawn to more than others. I'll look at it while you guys are talking.
Yeah, it was in the sidebar messenger, I think.
I was just looking at the actual spheres in Sphere Power, and I was like, oh, there's no war sphere.
You're correct. There isn't a war sphere anymore.
Honestly, I feel like either maybe enhancement or telekinesis would be okay for them to go after.
I feel like we should go after the ones that break things too much, like relation or life. Or...
Well, that's why I was like, they can't have the warp sphere, they can't have the time sphere, because that's just going to screw stuff up.
Yeah. So here's the old prophecy that we had.
The first one, the seas and the mountains. Let's see what fate does.
So I'm going to actually... Oh, man. Is that a good...
Do we have any way to communicate with this crew long term or long range if we are going to split away from them? I don't think we do we?
Theoretically, the best way to do that would be using some kind of Mind Stone ability. Think about that. You have the Mind Stone, and it is awakened. Have we gotten specific about which talents the Mind Stone has?
No, whenever I look at anxiety, trying to read through that thing, so I don't know.
Okay.
Ow.
Why don't I go ahead and just do everybody a favor, and we're going to say it has the read mind, project thoughts, and greater communication talents. What this will do is allow you to use the great communication talent to project thoughts across any distance, even across planes. The recipients are allowed to respond in kind, 25 words for the greater charm, no word limit for the powerful charm, but the target must voluntarily receive and send a message. The target may simply decide to block you out, in which case the conversation immediately ends. So it's sending. You get 25 words. It's the gesture. I'm going to send a message.
Are you pooping?
Are you pooping? Okay. Hello, it's Jester. Here we are. I'm going to waste all of my words saying things that don't matter. Okay. And now I'm going to get cut off in the middle of my...
What?
Yeah, that's a triple roll inside joke.
So that was read minds, project thoughts, and what was the third one?
Read mind, project thoughts, and greater communication. And essentially what this will do is that anyone designated by the stone with, we'll say, an action by touching it, becomes connected, gains the ability to trigger this greater communication talent at will, with anybody else who has been identified by the stone as part of the quote crew. So that will allow you guys to use the Mind Stone as a communications device between you at any distance, even across planes. And also,
second ship.
what's
Thanks.
that?
Do we have a second ship?
No, you have a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a
No,
small
we have to
ship.
figure out a
but-
different way for trouble. It was just a thought. If we had two teams searching.
No, honestly, I kind of like the idea of sending them off for the other ones.
Do you think?
I thought we weren't going to use the key anymore. We were going to go hide it or whatever. But now that there's a crew on it, like they can pilot it and we can travel without the key.
Who was that one guy who like zip zapped that sleepy dwarf dude to us before we hit the water? Wasn't there some? Hero doesn't know Sirius's name.
Zip zap that sleepy.
Oh, that was serious. He was the head of the Warp Guild.
Can he help us with travel?
He better, because otherwise the world's going to end and it's his fault.
Nice.
Ronnie is so just salty about everything.
I mean, that might be some person to ask. Maybe if we can have his help to get around, they'll have the ship. We can just pop everywhere.
Well, we have the divination stone, so he, in theory, should be able to. If we can figure out where we're supposed to go, he should be able to zap us there and then be able to zap us back when we're done.
Oh man, I
But
still
we have
am losing my connection here.
it.
So,
I feel we can guilt him into it.
why? Why have to do that? Oh, screw you.
There was some
No, I got it. Yeah. There. That's my final answer.
I don't know what kind of luck the first week.
Okay, so Chad, for clarification, I am now officially calling the War Guild the Dominion Guild.
Okay.
And the Dominion Stone. Why, Charles? Are you excited about being dominated by the
The dominatrix stone. Here we go.
A consent stone.
Yeah,
Word talent.
I think it's safe word activated. So
Yes. The ultimate opponent to the domination stone. The consent stone. So good. Okay. All right. So, what's the plan? Where are you guys going? What are you doing?
sounds like the Renai Forest, right?
Okay, do you want to request any prophecies before we close?
It's kind of late. I don't know if I can handle prophecies this late in the evening. We probably will. Yeah.
It'll help you plan. It'll help me plan. And I've already made them, so I'm excited.
Okay.
All right.
Next, not like where. But like, probably what's the most important stuff to get next.
Well,
Where it is.
Creation's pretty powerful.
creation is pretty dang powerful. Life's probably pretty dang powerful.
Fate.
Fate is, fate is.
One of those three, I think, is probably the heavy hitters out of all those.
Also, something to keep in mind. Since we are absolutely keeping the Dark Knight Zone, but wherever we go, if they change course and the army starts heading toward us, we probably should make sure we are in a good place to accept them.
Oh, I forgot about the army. Shit.
We'll just have to calculate and constantly move in a big circle around them so they don't get anywhere.
Like we don't want to like go looking for a stone
Yeah,
in,
we're just kiting them around the continent or whatever.
We don't want to go looking for a stone inside a cavern where there's nothing but darkness. Is what I'm saying.
Well, we may not have a choice if that's where they're at.
I mean, but the forest should be mostly outside, so I like it.
We have the lightstone with us, so I don't know what it can do now, but probably stuff that goes against the darkness.
All right,
and
so
that's good. I just mean we should be.
shall I roll 1d3 to see which stuff we ask about? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say creations 1,
There are
life
good options.
2, and then
Fate.
fate 3.
Okay.
So we're going after the fate stone.
Okay.
I let fate decide, and fate is the one we're going
I like it.
after.
I like it.
Yes. As you focus on the divination stone and you ask, where is the fate stone? Again, the transformation occurs as Yara's eyes go white, her body is lifted up into the air, spread eagle fashion.
Oh, not again!
Clothing sweeping around her with a non-existent wind. This time, not echoing as if from a watery chamber. Instead, now sounding as if it is lost among the whistling wind through sort of tall grass and almost distant as you hear the following emerge from her mouth in a voice that is not her own.
A visitor in beds of reeds doth patient wait her prey. The foolish venture forth, but see, they cannot run away. For whether mother, brother, friend, they hear the cries of pain, and meet fate in that wetland den, to ne'er come out again.
So the text I have now added to the chat.
Seek ye out the 7 maids.
Wait, hang on, stop, that's not the right one.
Everyone take notes.
Once again, the Fate Stone prophecy, ladies and gentlemen.
A visitor in beds of reeds doth patient wait her prey. The foolish venture forth, but see, they cannot run away. For whether mother, brother, friend, they hear the cries of pain, and meet fate in that wetland den, to ne'er come out again.
That might actually be the closest one. Perfect.
In the wetlands
That's
somewhere.
not ominous.
I mean, there's that one in the Delta that we never got right.
Yeah, and that's supposed to be marshy.
I like it.
All right, I'm going to try another one. We're sorry, the prophecy you've dialed is no longer in service.
Bran, actually, as you hear this word, capital V, visitor, you recognize it. Go ahead and roll a history check.
Ow.
Yay!
And take advantage because you've been actually studying this.
Yes, I have. Oh, visitor! Thank you. I was like, wait, what? I have.
What?
Hold on, I gotta see what my plus is to this. I think that's a 20, but yeah, 20. 20.
You recognize the name visitor as another word used to refer to strangers. And specifically strangers, not the ones who have left,
Was it the
but
state?
the ones who have been exiled back to Athanasia.
Interesting. I say we go for this one. I mean, it's pretty close too.
Also, Yara, you are from the prophecy. Go ahead and make your Constitution saving throw.
Oh, no. This die is paying dividends for me tonight. So that's... I don't think I have... Oh, I have a +2, so it'll be 16.
Nice. You're getting used to this prophecy thing. This wasn't as bad as the last one. You do not take a level of exhaustion.
Okay, so last question real quick. Are we all going there, or are we gonna... Are we taking the key there? Is that how I'm understanding it?
I think right now we would kind of have to take the key. We don't have a way of getting there right now without it.
I was gonna say we're on an island. I mean, why don't we like text throughout the weekend? Maybe we can just drop it off and they can go somewhere else. But we'll figure it out.
We call it a drop pod for this thing.
I could try to call Sirius and be like, "Hey, can you just zap us here?" But
It'll transport us.
I think this one's relatively close, so we're probably good to use the ship for now, right? But
I guess we must have like a half-day trip. We're in the island area. We should be pretty close.
did we try to rest all before we move on?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes.
So, go to sleep and.
How fast is the darkness moving? Like, we have time to rest or do a normal rest?
As far as I understand it, they still have to travel by shadow. They can't just like pop. They can't like teleport or warp. They're still traveling as an army does.
Yeah.
But and also by night only. They're not able to travel unless they're underground or in shadow. They can't travel by day. So I also don't get the vibe that the monastery can track them. They just know that they left in a certain direction. Maybe.
Okay.
Can the divination stone do things other than just track stones? Can it check other things?
You can certainly try.
If only you guys still had a party member who was good at divining things.
Yeah. I mean, I can try, but there's no guarantee it's going to be able to. I mean, I think the range, certainly boosting it up with more stones will increase its range capabilities, but I don't think that's going to be far enough to help us right now.
Could you write your monk friends and ask if they recall the speed at which the shadows left? Were they like at a normal pace? Were they like booking it?
I'm pretty sure
Are they
they were booking
legally-
it. Yeah, but booking it as the shadow walks.
What does that mean? That tells me nothing.
Well, they barely told me anything.
I need miles per hour.
Okay, here, you know what? Here, Ronnie. Here is. I'll pull out my scroll that still has all the messages on it, my conversation with them, and I'll let her read it. And if you want to write any questions to them, just go ahead and use this quill and do so. But please save space. I will run out of this paper.
But I like to write Libby.
Then you are not using this.
Then I will take this back and I will put it in my soul pose, and you don't get it.
But they pretty much, like, in the previous messaging, they pretty much, laid it out. They aren't, like...
Like, there was an instantaneous change in their behavior at a certain point. And when they described the moment that it happened, it was the moment Hero grabbed the Darkness Stone. So, draw your own conclusions. They're like, they're gone. They're making a beeline for this direction. And for an entire army to be a specific direction, that means all of them had to have been moving with some kind of internal purpose. So...
They've got to be pretty slow. I mean... Days
well, let's make sure if we use the light stone as a nightlight so they can't sneak up on us.
Oh, speaking of nightlights, there's one thing I wanted to mention. I usually forget to describe how at night the key literally glows. Because it's made of Pyrium, it absorbs sunlight during the daytime, which is why it's black. And then at nighttime, it releases that sunlight. That's the natural product of Pyrium. So I'm just putting it out there. That's always a factor.
No.
Unless,
be hard to find.
Unless, of course, you have the Dark Stone, which allows the Dark Stone to absorb that light and basically puts the key into stealth mode at night.
Cool.
That stone is not staying with the crew, though. It's not.
Actually, how's that work? Because I guess the one stone would stay with the crew. That'd be good enough.
I mean,
Yeah, you only need like one to power the.
They can have the weather one, yeah.
Yeah. So the Weatherstone is inside of Prog's staff at this point, which means that it isn't currently socketed into the key. They would need at least one other stone in order to operate the key.
But he can put his stone into the key.
Yeah, We can leave them their weatherstone. That's the stone we said that they could use, and that's the one
Well-
they can use.
While he can put it into the key, that means he won't be able to use it with his staff to make it go fast.
We're fine.
They're used to
When we are not on the key, that is not our problem.
Okay, so that's fine. That's you guys' choice. It's up to you.
I'm fine with letting them use the Death Stone since Yara.
Really?
I don't really want that stone to be. Well,
I don't want a bunch of idiots in the hands
Someone
of
in charge of the Death Stone.
Yeah, I feel like any stone that can rewrite reality probably should stay with us.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
that's gonna be like most of them, really. Well,
I mean, maybe. Well, no, the Faerun's pretty important.
Maybe we could find a stone that we're not so worried about and let them
like
have it.
Give him the consent stone. It's fine. That does nothing.
Give them
Wait.
the consent stone. It will
We could
ask
do-
for an attack.
Conjuration is probably pretty important too.
Is there like a passive aggressive stone we could give?
Illusion.
Uh,
That's probably
We'll head
not,
to the Delta
like,
and we'll figure it out.
You guys don't currently have illusion, so if you found it, that would be an option.
right.
We can give them enhancement, and so they can have even bigger lightning bolts.
All right. I'm sure I brought a steam. Are we good for the night?
So I hear you guys saying that you're going to head toward the Fate Stone in the wetlands, and that you are planning on splitting the party. So you guys are going to be traveling as a unit, and then you're going to be leaving some stone that you agreed to with those who are aboard. I hear that it's at least the Weatherstone. You are welcome to leave at least one other stone with you, with the people aboard the ship. Are there any members of are there any NPCs that are currently aboard the key that you would like to drop off somewhere and not consider part of the crew, or are all of them going to be folded into the crew of the key?
I mean, I'm fine with just keeping them where they're at. I don't want to leave. Clearly, the people that we picked up, it was like your offers will take you to safety, but if you want to stay on board and continue to serve,
Okay. As long as Gideon is going to stay, the pirates are willing to stay as well. They're being basically convinced to stick around. As long as Astra stays, the remainder of the crew, the privateers from the Maelstrom, are willing to stay.
Can we make sure to impress on the ones we've known a little longer that they need to make sure that nobody takes this? Like those stones are like, give your life for those stones, like, you know.
Right.
I
Like,
would hate to hear that those new guys just walked off with them.
Yeah, I don't really like the new guys.
Astra,
I don't know why we brought them with us. We should have just left them.
I'm okay getting them and moving them not onto a deserted island, but
Just drop them off somewhere.
It wasn't deserted. There was a whole colony of harpies there.
And so,
my vote would be that we ditch them as soon as we can.
I will
Just take them
agree.
to land. Yeah, and just let them go.
so Martin, the Mousekin, and Gideon will insist that they want to serve. The remainder are like, oh no, we're getting out of here. Thank you.
yeah, that's kind of what I figured would happen. Yeah, we'll just put the rest of them out.
Okay. So you guys will keep Gideon and Martin, and the rest of them will go on their merry way as soon as you hit land. We'll go ahead and count them as 2 members of the crew, and then you still have Astra, Prague, Flisbit, Mortag, and Dundrin, and the 2 interns. That gives you a complement of 9 crew members.
Some of the interns don't even have names.
They do.
Well,
but
they do.
They do. You never asked them. Okay.
I was been waiting this whole time for Yara to introduce us, and she just didn't.
Nobody ever has, and they're all perfectly content to just go be jackasses in the corner, so they don't care.
I think
Anyway.
we should leave them on the deserted island.
they
Let the
did
heart.
pretty good.
I mean, they did. They did really good.
Ronnie did not witness that.
I guess technically.
So you've got 9 members of the crew aboard the Key, and the rest of you are traveling on your own. Are you both traveling to the while you are going to the marshlands?
Well, we can't really go to the marshland without the key right now.
Yeah.
Unless
At
we're
least
all
head to
looking
mainland, head to the marshlands, and then maybe we'll split up.
Can't we
I guess it
communicate
depends.
with Sirius with the Mind Stone now?
Anybody who has been designated by the Mind Stone as somebody that you can converse with would be automatic. However, if you remove the Mind Stone from the Key and use it as an object, you can use the key. I'm sorry, you can use the Mind Stone to use that talent from a specific individual.
Oh.
So you can communicate with him, but he would not be able to communicate with you freely unless you contacted him.
Well, he can just zap to us, so.
How does the stone choose who it will send messages to? I'm confused.
They have to be designated by touching the stone.
Oh, well, we would have to go to him first anyway.
You could remove the Mind Stone from the Key, use it to contact him and say, hey, come find us. And then he could teleport to you.
Hey, not to interrupt, but I'm like, I'm like beat. I'm probably gonna have to head out of here, but I can.
Okay, very good.
Touch base with whatever we need to.
We'll worry about the rest of
figure
it later. Let's go ahead and call this the end of the arc. Are you guys going to want to continue this game next time, and we'll go through another arc together on this game, or do you want to return to our Eberron campaign?
I'm going to vote to stick with this. It's hard for me to flip back and forth, honestly.
I'm good with either. Whatever you guys pick.
I'm good with either as well. I think Allison and Heath may get a double vote since they only got to play their other characters for like 30 seconds. So.
Right.
It's fine. We can stay with this game. Yeah, I didn't really get to play her, so I'll have to relearn her anyway. So it's no biggie.
Yep.
And I will totally forget everything that happened if we switch. So.
Okay.
What do you think?
Maybe we could switch back when we come in person.
When we what?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with staying in on this campaign.
Okay. So let's go ahead and call it going after the Faith Stone next time, and we'll keep going from there. Thanks, everybody, for sticking around. Good game. Fun times. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
At night.
Bye.
Hey, just send me that link.
I will look up.
Okay, that's fine. I'll get it. I'll work on it tomorrow.
All right. Probably stop the recording.